Hey Zombie Slayers, hope you're all having a fantastic day, and what is this? We are doing webcams, hello. We are doing webcams for this episode of the podcast, episode 6. Unfortunately, Spike the Wolf is not able to... That face right there is why I wanted to face cam. Spike the Wolf, unfortunately, is not able to come to this episode, but I've got a feeling it's going to be a crack and a half anyway, because we've got the returning Lux Arkangel. I can say his name right. How you doing, Lux?
I'm doing pretty good today. My girlfriend finally got back from her holiday, so I get to spend some time with her. It's great.
Fantastic. Hope she had a lovely holiday.
Lobster hopes you had a lovely holiday.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
But now, to introduce the special guest, the one... I cannot believe he even said yes to this podcast. He is probably thinking I was on drugs or something.
Are you serious? No. I got the hey, you want to be on the show, and I didn't say no right away. I said yeah.
He did say yes.
I even told Lobster that you would say yes. He was like mentioning it to me before we recorded the first episode I was on, and I was like, yeah, if you bring it up to Turbo, he's so chill about just doing collabs with people. Just ask him, he'll be like, sure, let's do it.
I'm saying to myself, like, who the fuck do these people think I am? I'm here just sitting, I'm having fun, drinking my iced tea. It's
Turbo
what you do.
Turbo is about the most middleman between like a super ginormous YouTuber like a Mr. T Lexify or like a Reed even, and us where we have like under 100.
Hey,
like he's the most middle person where he's like, I'll collab with everyone and everyone.
That's it.
Make our little people known and make our little people know that the big guys are normal people.
Yeah.
Because you want to know why that's a big point of it. Like, you know, it's another thing. Like having, you know, there's a ton of people in this community who think their shit don't stink, you know, and they have less subscribers than me, or even have some a little bit more than me. You know, like they act like, oh, you know, I surpassed this level. Look at you, like you're nothing. But I'm like, you were there at one point, so whether you know. So, you know, anything you guys need or any more podcasts, I'm here, man. I'm having a good time. We're going to get started. We're going to chap some asses. We're going to have a great time.
Yes, we're going to do.
Do you say we're going to chap some asses?
We're going to chap some asses. We're going to chap some asses. Yep.
Anyway,
hello, man.
Special guest, as I'm sure you've known by now, Turbo. We got Turbo, the man himself, the ZWC legend on the podcast. And I'm super stoked for this episode. I've been stoked pretty much since the day he said yes. I've been running around like a giddy schoolgirl, praying this day would come sooner. So I'm very, very excited for this episode. Very excited.
Running around like a giddy schoolgirl because Turbo appears on my podcast.
I'm running around like a little girl because he said yes. That's
After this, he's running around. At first, he was just saying it. Now he'll be running around.
Like pretty much when you said yes, I was at work at the time, and like I sent you the message because I honestly didn't know if you were gonna say yes or not. But then when you turned around and said, yeah, sure, I'm down, I pretty much ran around my table about 50 times, screaming, he said yes! He said yes! Oh my god!
Thank you, man. I mean that's what we need back in this community. There's so many people who are just heads down. They're like, fuck everybody else. It's what, which I was actually talking about today. You know, that's good if you want to make a lot of content, but at the same time, when you're blocking yourself from other people, that's when you're just a scumbag at that point. You're like, you know, why bother? You know, why bother? But yeah, man, I'm happy you asked, and I'm happy, you know, we got to be on. I'm very happy.
That's fantastic. Like, yeah, I was really happy when you allowed me to be on your podcast. By the way, It Is What It Is podcast, hosted by my man Turbo here. The link will be down in the description to his channel, so be sure to go check that out. And
I still haven't even been on that podcast yet.
Oh, you need to get on.
Listen to me, all right? Listen to me. I have people asking me to be on the podcast. The list goes on, okay?
I'm sure
I was at ZWC2 and Hagen, Blaze Drake. We had him on actually 2 weeks after we came back, and he was like, Turbo, if you don't have me on this podcast, we're not gonna be friends anymore. We're not friends. So I definitely have a long list. Everybody's still on it. Okay, we're going down the list. We're making our way next week. Sure. I think we're getting Mitch on. But yeah, man. Listen, you know, what you call it? Look, I'll get you. Okay, I'll get to everybody.
I'll get you. I'll get that. Don't worry.
I'm checking them off. Yeah.
You got a long list. You're a popular guy. You know, you got 8 million people that want you.
You know,
Or
that
brand.
Sometimes I think of myself, do I have millions of people? Do I have hundreds of people? But I've been blessed with having like the small, viewership I have now.
Yeah.
I am blessed to have people like, you guys and other people who just feel so strongly about my content, honestly. Usually you find these people who feel so strongly, like a big YouTubers, like, people who feel really strongly, oh, I love Noah J, or I love Lex, I love this, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's just been really, really good for me lately. I mean, after ZWC, it's been going well.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and I mean, congratulations on the whole CWC thing, man. That's absolutely brilliant. I actually did watch you were hosting the interviews, and well, let's just say that I was laughing so hard. I'm pretty sure tears were dropping onto the desk. Like, it was fantastic, man. Let me tell you. It was absolutely fantastic. It was a great.
It was nerve wracking too, because Jose, who runs the behind the scenes, said to me, he goes, at ZWI, I'm setting up all my stuff, because at that point I just go in there and I'm like, all right, I'm playing. I'm I'm just going there to play. They're gonna look at me as like another person there who, he won ZWI. They're probably gonna look at me, say whatever, but I walk in and just open arms. Like, that's why people say, is the big YouTubers, they're different, or do they act differently? No. No. The Lex, the biggest one, everybody says, is Lex the same? Yes. I walk in, he's sitting down, playing the PS4 with his fucking sandals, and he just yells, he goes, "That's me, dog! That's me! I'm the kill kid! That's me!" And I'm sitting down, I'm talking to Pat, I'm talking to everybody, I'm looking at that, I'm like, holy shit. And then I text Vinny, I'm like, Vin, he is the same, man. He is the same. But yeah, it was overall good, but it was I was saying before, it was nerve-wracking because Jose told me at ZWI, when I was setting up, he goes, hey, you want to hop on the stand and do some commentating with Matt? I said, now the inner creative in me, I was like, let's go. Let's do it. I'm down. I want it. That's when I got on stage with Matt, doing the commentating. Then after the event, and then after that, he said, you want to be the silent reporter going around? But I was like, yeah, sure, without a doubt. Did that. Then going to ZWC 2, I thought I was going to go there, just sit back, watch the event. Then Jose goes, silent reporter, let's go. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, all right. Wow. I'm like, okay. I'm like, thank you. And then he just jumps me right into it. And then literally everything was off the top. Everything wasn't scripted and had no cue cards. I just, he literally said 3, 2, 1, camera's on you. And I flowed. I let the words flow. The words flow.
That's absolutely fantastic, and it must have been one hell of an experience.
Oh, yeah.
I watched both last year's and this year's, and like this year's was a massive improvement of the last year. I will say that for definite. And it was much more fun to watch. Really enjoyed the challenges and all the little things like your interviews that you did, and then the questions the quiz that Milo did as well. It was it was all around. It was a solid event.
Really. And like for you, Turbo, when you did that, like the reason I liked it so much was when you came in. You just came in and you were just you. Like at first, you kind of seemed a little bit hesitant with the camera. You're like, I don't know how far I could go. But then you kind of seem like you warmed up, and then you're just like, screw it, I got this, and you made it your own. So that's why I liked it. So I thought ZWC was great because of stuff like having guys like you and like all the smaller creators actually be involved, as opposed to it just basically being a glorified meetup.
Yeah,
which is what I felt like the first ZWC was. But all the same, I thought both events were pretty damn good, considering they're run by just like Matt and a bunch of other guys in the community. It's not like a professional. This isn't a big company putting it on.
Yeah.
They did the best that they could with the resources that they have as a small group of people.
No, yeah, they really did. And that's, as I said before, people don't see what goes on behind the scenes. That's why I really loved Matt and Jose being on the show last week, because we talked about the stuff behind the scenes, and man, oh my god, the stuff that you guys don't see Night and day, night and day. There's an upstairs area, and they had all the tech stuff going on in the corner. And looking at that, I was like looking at NASA's motherboard. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah,
Like,
Jesus.
it was crazy. But yeah, they really did work hard on it. Whole event, in my opinion, it was a lot of fun. Um, you know, I can't say much for next year, but what I can say is that, with, around the clock, ZWC is working. Like they are, they are just in general, as like just to
Hey
keep the
man,
name
I,
relevant.
I've been keeping up on Twitter. They were talking about going to New York. I see you, Turbo.
I
I
mean,
see you.
Oh,
will,
yes.
will ZWC come to New York? Will there be a ZWC3? Will it come to New York? I don't know. Okay, I really don't know.
Hey,
Like
Even if I
look,
did know, I wouldn't tell you.
yeah, people look at me like, "Oh, Turbo, do you know?" I'm like, guys, I know squat. Like they talk to me about just content. Like they don't talk to me like, "Okay, so here's what we got with the vent." I don't know. Like they keep the business stuff to them and the creative stuff to me. But if it does come to New York, though,
Fantastic. Comes to
I'm
your
gonna be running
hometown.
around my table. Fuck that! You kidding me?
Yeah,
That's gonna be
you'll doing
amazing.
that.
I'm
That's
gonna be able
great.
to
Like I don't have to fly anywhere.
that too. Oh my god!
there.
Even though since I wanted to be all, everything was paid for. Even though that, of course, very thankful for that time. Even though if it wasn't California, of course, I would, of course, pay out to go. But anytime you can have a chance to like not fly and like take a bus to the venue.
Yeah,
Oh my
night and
god.
day difference. Night and day difference. Because I bet you like going to that event and then coming back, that was probably huge jet lag for you. Huge
Yeah,
jet
it was
lag.
like 3-4 hours difference going from California to New York, and it was, when I got home, I went straight to bed, got right home, straight to bed, and but yeah, LA wasn't that bad. LA is pretty nice. Like they say LA is like the toned down version of New York, and I gotta say that is true. Like, I gotta say, I've been walking around a lot more bums than New York,
Do you
surprisingly.
find air pollution is worse in New York or in LA?
LA, you're walking, you look up, you can't even see the sun. I don't think you can see the moon at night. The layer of smog around the whole entire state of
It's out of this world.
it's literally the smog. You're looking, you can be, with your wife, you're on top of a mountain looking at the nice Hollywood sign, then boom, you see just disgusting smog just evolving around the sky, and I'm like, what the fuck is this from? How did it get to this point to where they're like, yeah, we're just gonna leave it? I mean, listen, it's LA, what are you gonna do? Who wants to see that? But
Oh,
it's
it was
funny.
even worse.
Definitely worse in LA than New York. Definitely.
It was pretty funny because about a month or so ago, like a bunch of the West Coast was like on fire, like
Yeah,
actually on fire,
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
and the
remember seeing that
smoke
as
was so
well.
bad that you would get it over the mountains.
Wow.
And so, like in cities like mine, we were getting that, and we were like, "Wow, this is what it's like to be in LA on a normal day." It was pretty bad.
Wait, are you
We
from
had.
LA or Canada?
I'm from Canada, my guy.
Oh, okay, because I knew that when you talked about LA, I was like, wait, is he from LA? I forgot, but I knew you
No,
were
no,
from
no,
Canada.
no. The
So
only reason I know about
I remember
LA is
asking
just
you
because.
about milk bags. I remember asking you about milk bags
Yes,
in Canada.
Jesus.
everyone asks me that. If they're not Canadians, they always ask if we have milk bags.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
We do, but we
exactly.
don't. They're not common.
They're the Maritimes. Fuck all of you.
Yeah, all the
Like,
Canadian
I'm not
stereotypes
walking
are
to
from
a
the
store and
Maritimes, from
saying,
the
"Let me
East
get a
Coast.
Ziploc bag of 2% milk." I'm going there to
That
get a
is
part of
only
milk.
Yeah,
on the
absolutely.
East Coast, okay? Our East Coast is not like your East Coast, okay?
I can see. I can only imagine.
Oh, okay. That was one hell of a start to the podcast.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right. But I think I was supposed the main topic of this one. Blackout. Now it's released on all platforms. PS4 obviously got it. They've had it for 5 to 6 days now, and Xbox got it just yesterday, as well as the PC, which the PC open beta was today. But I mean, let's start with you, Lux. How are you finding Blackout compared to other battle royales?
Here's what my opinion of Blackout is this. That is the best of the battle royale genre. But to be fair, in my opinion, that's not a huge accomplishment
Okay.
because at the end of the day, the battle royale formula just isn't for me because I find it too like we complain about this all the time in zombies for like Easter eggs and stuff, right? Where we don't
Yeah.
like RNG. That is
Yes.
the entirety of what Blackout is. You pray to God that no one lands near you. You pray to God you get a gun. You pray to God that gun is better than the next person's gun, and you pray to God you don't get shot in the back.
Yep.
But like, that's the thing is like realistically, as I said in your chat when you were streaming it, I find solo like playing solo is just worthless because it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, good, I'm gonna die right away, no matter if I'm landing at the normal spot I land or not.
Yeah.
Playing quads is basically just for memeing it up, or at least it has been for me and my friends when we play. And then like doing duos is either for memeing or for genuinely sort of playing it. Like me and Antwerp play it a lot, and we either meme it up or we actually like we almost always get at least top 10, if not
That's
top
great.
5. So we do pretty damn good. But like I genuinely enjoy it because of how it feels to play it. Because like when I play it, it reminds me a lot, well, or at least how I play it. It reminds me a lot of like the Black Ops 1 campaign, like the missions in Vietnam,
Yes, I
where you
know
gotta
exactly what you
slowly
mean.
tactically move around and then, you know, sneak about, and then all of a sudden you're like in an open field and you're trying to book it to the next set of buildings. You're like, fucking yeet! That's
I feel like
exactly
it was a adapting moment for me. Like when I play, like you never played a Call of Duty battle royale. They never had
It's
a battle
never
royale.
existed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
besides
Unless you
Blackout.
kinda-
Yeah, I'm playing Blackout and I'm like, well, like I'm landing in the diner and you're running to raid and you know you're going to Nuketown Island, which by the way looks like a fucking shit show. Okay, what is Nuketown Island? What happened on
place.
Nuketown Island looks like a nuke went off, but that's no nuke. That's
Yeah, I
no
was
nuke.
like, the nuke went off and only encompassed a small island versus the entirety of the rest of the map. Lol. I don't know.
Yeah.
At first, I was one of those guys because, you know, as us zombie guys do, I was one of those people that was always like, I'm gonna land at a zombie's location.
Yeah, I was like that.
And then I
Well,
realized,
Spike was just like, as soon as I get Blackout, we are landing at Asylum, boy. We're going to Asylum.
yeah, the first place I landed in my first game was Asylum, and I
It's a good
realized,
place to go to Asylum.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's huge.
and
It's absolutely
I
huge.
want to say this as well, as for the fact that Verrückt is my favorite map, I think they did really well with Asylum in Blackout and all the other zombie locations as well. They were all pretty well done. I like those, but I soon realized that everyone and their dog lands there. So
Yeah.
like, I was telling Lobster when he was streaming. Me and Antwerp came up with a spot. I think it's in D3. I think it said.
Mhm.
And it's literally from the Black Ops 1 campaign where Woods and Mason break out of Kravchenko's compound and they steal a
Mhm.
helicopter. It's literally that setup, and there's always good loot.
Wow.
And you usually either get a weapons cache that gives you a decent gun, or you get a helicopter, or you get a truck.
See, that's great
So-
RNG. Like, no matter what the item is that you're gonna get, you know it's gonna be good, and
Yeah.
it's like it's not relying that much on RNG, which is just
Yeah.
great. Like,
Also, I
Yeah.
want to say that the driving mechanics for all the things except for the boat, because I haven't tried a boat yet, but the truck, the ATV, and the helicopter,
Mhm.
simple as hell. I thought it was gonna be like GTA where I was gonna crash after I
Yeah,
took
yeah,
a
yeah.
helicopter
Yeah.
right away, but no, I'm actually a good pilot.
I mean,
Antwerp is not. This motherfucker straight up flew us into a goddamn lake.
I drove
Great job,
the
Antwerp.
truck, the ATV, and the chopper. The hardest, in my opinion, has to be the chopper because it was me, Vinny, Matt, MC Sports Talk, and his friend, and we were playing, and I don't know who the fuck it was. I think it was his friend. He wasn't on, and I tried going down, and descending is weird. So when you descend, the back, it's listen. I don't have my license in Blackout, so I'll be going like this and that and that. And it was hard, but I like it. I like the vehicles. The one thing I did say though about talking about Asylum again, in my video I mentioned that Asylum is you go there if you want like what you call a good loot like in the Asylum, but if you want to go to the maze, when you go to the maze, you're either gonna get a shotgun that shoots like a dildo,
Yes.
or you're gonna get med kits. That's
Yeah.
all you're getting.
I
That's
know exactly
all
what
you're
you
getting in
mean.
the maze.
Like the
Yeah, fair
second
enough.
game I played, I actually went to it was just me, and I decided to go to a zombie location. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna try what's supposedly the buried maze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went there. I found a shotgun. I thought, okay, this is great. Found medkits and all that sort of stuff. I shot the shotgun at this one guy who was really close,
Yeah.
and he didn't die. I'm like, okay, I'll shoot him again. Didn't die. Okay, I'm gonna shoot him again. Didn't die. Is this thing fucking working? Fucking die.
Yeah,
It's just
that's it.
absolutely
Shotguns in this game.
terrible.
Yeah, the shotguns in this game need a rework. I think the only reason they're really underpowered is because of the fact that they're probably still using the multiplayer sort of balancing,
Yep.
which in multiplayer, because you can have a shotgun as your secondary, they can't make it too powerful, but they can't make it too
Yeah.
underpowered.
They
So
definitely need
it's
to make
just
it like
okay.
a main weapon, which in fact it is. Like, because you carry it as like you would carry it and you would use it as a primary, as you would an assault rifle, SMG, sniper rifle.
Mhm.
But damage just suck massive cock.
Yeah.
It's
Even
terrible.
even in the regular multiplayer, the shotguns take 2 hits. There's like not one shotgun that actually is like a close besides they get injured or something. A 1 hit to the face. Like there's no. That's why they're saying they at least need to be a good shotgun. Like
Yeah, I think
like
Yeah.
Treyarch always done that. Treyarch either always made great shotguns or great pistols. That's all they did. That was Treyarch's thing. It was either great pistols or great shotguns. For some reason, every year, like okay, Black Ops 3, RK5 was okay, LCAR was okay, MR6, was an MR6, and
But
then
the
the
shotguns
shotguns.
were
Yeah, the
crazy.
KRM,
shotgun.
the Brecci, the
No,
Argus, and
Haymaker,
Right,
yeah,
still
it's
fucking
the
broken.
Haymaker. You had great shotguns.
absolutely
The pistols
fantastic
flopped a little
shotguns.
bit, and then in this game, the pistols. I mean, I don't really know much about the pistols, but I feel like both those secondaries are really
The
flat.
pistols are actually pretty decent
They're
from
not
what
bad.
I've used.
They're not bad
I
at all.
feel like Black Ops 4 as a whole isn't just about the best of Black Ops. I think it's just honestly the best of Call of Duty, because you get like the aspects of Modern Warfare kind of stuff as well. Like there's like in the construction site, I get a lot of like MW3, MW2 sort of multiplayer map vibes there. And honestly, most of what I feel like all of Black Ops 4 is just the best of what you had from all the previous
Yeah.
Call of Duties,
Yeah,
except for
definitely,
like
yeah,
the people who liked exosuits. Sucks. That's the only thing that's not there.
Just get out of here. Like we don't want you. We don't want you in this place. Get out of here.
Yep.
But
Great.
what you were saying about the shotguns and the pistols, like I won't deny the Treyarch. Like I find myself using the RK5 more than what I do the MR6.
Oh, yeah.
And, and the shotguns are great in BO3, but I do think that Treyarch do have the capacity to make excellent assault rifles as well. Because you look at guns like the AN-94. That gun was a tank,
Yeah.
not just in multiplayer, but zombies as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you look at guns like that, and you think they actually have the capacity to make great weapons here. And what I've been seeing with BO4 and Blackout, and I quite like this little style that they've added to it. The guns like I can never remember the fucking name of it. It's like the dual MG08 looking weapon. That was shown.
Yes. Okay, I
guns
gotcha.
like that, and then a couple of the single shot rifles as well. They remind me.
I thought that was the MGOA, and then it wasn't, and I was like, but it looks exactly like it.
Yeah, it's
Like, what is it?
They've cut it close into like how it looks compared to
Yeah.
like, the MG.
I think
that's
I think they
that's
did
like
that.
the AKs in all these games. They're all the exact same look and function. They just name them different because they're different eras, even though it's the exact
different
same weapon.
eras.
Yeah, say that with the most quotation fingers in the world.
Yes, yeah. But those weapons, like the way they've styled them and the way they've made them look, they give me massive World War II vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's good. They're kind of taking that little approach, like to the weaponry, even though it is a futuristic game. They're kind of going back to the style of what World War weapons would look like. Sorry, and I think it's great to see that sort of thing. So they're not just all futuristic, and I think the what the fuck? I'm just gonna call it the MG08 2. Like, the
I would.
MG08.
Fuck it.
Like that gun, I've got a feeling is going to be like it's not bad in Blackout, but I think it's going to be much better in Zombies. I think it's going to be one of those weapons where they've tuned up the damage to say, well, it sucks in Blackout, and Zombies is a fucking beast. Like it's just going to be one of those weapons.
You know how hard it is to see when you load up the beta? You know how hard it is to see like the Zombies tab right there with the lock on it?
Oh
Yeah.
I am
Keep clicking on it.
The struggle. The
I
struggle.
can't. I'm just looking at
Just
it.
can't.
I'm looking at it.
Jeez,
It's like this.
you tease.
I'm like this. I'm like, you come on, you motherfucker, please.
Just like,
Like-
press the button. Press the button.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot you're an Xbox guy, right?
Yes, I am an Xbox guy. Yes, I
Oh,
He's gonna
no.
get a PlayStation eventually because
am.
he
Next
knows.
month, I'm getting a PlayStation.
Well, until next month, we can't be friends no more, my friend. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's like, I'm leaving the call.
Okay,
I'm
bye.
out.
I'm sorry. That's out. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'd rather do something else in my time.
You
with
know
my-
what? I used to
with
like
my
you.
time.
Oh,
But
man.
yes, I am an Xbox
Yeah,
guy. But
I want to ask this question. Apart from Black Ops 4, what is your favorite Treyarch made game? And not necessarily just for zombies, but as a whole experience, and why?
Well, I think the only other game I play with zombie with Treyarch is the Spider-Man games. That's the one I
I was meaning Call of
Why-
Duty,
why do I
but
have a knife? You see this? Why do I have a knife?
Why
You
do I
see,
have a
I
knife?
don't know.
Why am I talking about
People,
Spider-Man?
look
Where
at
am
this.
I?
At me.
Who is
This is a knife I had from breakfast this morning from my pancakes.
You go.
Why
And
do you
I'm
have
just,
a
I'm
steak knife
just,
for
and I'm
pancakes?
just waving it around like a cheerleader's baton. I'm just throwing it in there. Soon you'll see me throwing it and catching it in my mouth soon. So,
Well, fucking eat.
Don't mind me. I'm just going to go. Why have I got a fork?
right, let's have some dinner. Let's have some. There you go.
I-
Let's have some. Let's cut the steak. You know. Let's
I
go.
have a bunch of glasses. That's about it, though. Let's.
Why don't we turn this
Hello.
podcast? Let's turn this podcast into like, what would you do? Like, what would you do if I just like, for example, started stabbing the webcam? You see the webcam break in, like fucking pixels and stuff.
I would be so confused. I don't.
I'll stick to the pen. I'll stick to me turning the pen because that's a knife, and I don't want nothing on Reddit. Turbo plays with knives.
I would think you're an American professor trying to write a very long essay and trying to grade
Right,
his
like-
student.
like
That's how
Yeah,
you come.
how would Julius Caesar?
Either.
Which, by the way, Julius Caesar. I read Hamlet. Hamlet last year. I wanted to blow my brains out. Hamlet.
Welcome to Shakespeare, my friend.
Welcome to
Welcome to
Hamlet.
Shakespeare.
First of all, whoever taught them to teach, like, to talk like that? Let me say this, okay? They sound like they're having half a stroke. They sound like they're having a stroke in the middle of their sentence. They're like, "Thou shalt." I'm like, hold up. I'm like, what is going on here? Then my teacher was like, I say a random word in the book, right? I say a random word, and I'm like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, you know what that word means? I'm like, what? He goes, slut. I'm like, what? And
Why
the
couldn't
word
they just say slut?
exactly, and the word's completely different. Like bajanglo, like bajanglo. How does bajanglo turn to slut?
No idea. That's how
I'm
confusing
dead.
Shakespeare is
I'm
sometimes.
so dead.
I don't know.
It's even better because Lobster's not even defending it, and that's like right
I'm not
straight out.
defending it. I've read a couple of Shakespeare books in my time, and I'm just thinking, are these guys fucking smoking crack? What the fuck is going on here?
It's
Like-
crazy.
It's-
Like I'm nothing against it, you know. Listen, if I have to read another Shakespeare book for college, whatever, of course I read it. But at the same time, will I enjoy it?
Probably not.
Probably
Probably not.
Probably not.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
But-
We got
oh, it's
derailed
funny.
so hard.
Yeah, it's great though. It's just great. But going
That's it,
actually, I mean,
Go with it. You see, we go with the flow. We let the
go with the
waves.
flow. That's all
We
we
let
do.
the waves take us wherever we gotta go. Okay. You know. Let me ask you this.
So-
Well, let's say. How do I say? Okay. So yeah, you changed your name too much for me.
I'm sorry.
What-
Hopefully,
what-
this is the last one.
Lux Arkangel, right? What do you go by? What do you go by? Lux. What do you go by?
Lobster just calls me Lux. It works
I'd say
that way.
Lux.
Lux, Lux?
Easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Lux. What is your love? Because when I first started talking to you, you were Arkham Reaper, and
Yeah.
what you call, and you weren't as like, you didn't seem as like dark and eerie as you do now. What kind of brand
just
change
no
was
idea.
that? I'm just curious for myself. I'm curious because I see you on Twitter and I'm looking through stuff and I'm like, man, he's going like deep with some of this shit. Like some of the tweets I look at, I'm like, man, he's like 2 steps away from
I think I know exactly
actually-
what one is talking-
actually developing the gates of hell into his living room. I feel like.
So the inspiration behind the Arkham Reaper name was it was just something I came up with long time ago from my love of like Batman comics, but as well as the H.P. Lovecraft mythos. I knew about the Lovecraft mythos before Black Ops 3, So I liked when they brought it in. And Arkham is actually from Lovecraft lore.
Yeah.
It's an actual city. And I liked that, and I like the concept of mixing that with Arkham from the Batman games, because Arkham in the Batman games is that insane asylum,
Yeah.
which is, I guess, another reason why I love Varrock so much.
Asylum, Varrock, yeah.
I feel like
But
you.
yeah,
I feel like you enjoy the pain of others. That's what I get.
Good lord.
I'm not gonna
I feel
answer that.
I feel like
Good
if I
lord,
did
man,
stab
what
myself with this knife, you would have been like, "Yes, great podcast ever."
Jesus.
Views.
I see
No,
blood. I'm there.
But no, so it was a mixture of that, and it was kind of like that idea of like the concept of a character that would be like, you know, those crazy people in the Batman universe that go to an asylum, what they're terrified of, you know? That was where that name came from.
I got
And then when I changed it to Kilgrave Zombies, it was in the sense of I really enjoyed the Kilgrave character from Jessica Jones.
Oh, he's fantastic.
I
Every
forgot
time-
about.
every time, man.
Wait a minute. I forgot about Kilgrave Zombie. Reed must be really confused because
Oh,
you
Reed is,
are.
Reed is always
was
confused.
stupid.
He's always confused.
This is true. This is true. But the
Reed's always
Kilgrave
confused.
Zombies was because I liked the character again, and I actually, the way I thought of it was like, you know, you get the you know, in rap you got Jay-Z, and
Uh-huh.
then zombies you got JC. I was like, mix it, KZ, you know. Plus, I was like, I like the color purple, and so that's why I used purple as the theme color there. And I thought it was pretty cool because Kilgrave's powers in that show is to make people do whatever he wants. So I was like,
like
in the
this.
concept of zombies, if you're really good at zombies and you train a lot, you're making the zombies do whatever you want them to.
The reason why I'm
So
so interested,
that's
the reason why I'm so interested in what you're saying right now is because I started out the question saying you go so deep in everything, and look what you're doing right now. You are going deep in these explanations.
yeah.
You see?
Yeah, and then-
I know how to. You know what a typecast is, right? So like whenever you're watching a
Yeah.
movie, you can automatically say, okay, that's the jock, that's the nerd. You can already see
Oh
it.
yeah, no,
That's
those
what
people.
that's what
Yeah,
typecasting
definitely.
is. I think I am the fucking best. First of all, cursing, I apologize. If cursing was a rule here,
I
Cursing's
curse
never
just
a
as
rule
much
on
as
this
you. I think
podcast.
we've established that.
It's never
because-
a fucking rule.
and also, and if you ever, and anybody, if you ask me to do anything, expect some curses. I'm sorry, that's just the way I am. But
Out to self. If you don't like cursing, fuck off.
that's it. That's it. That's it. But what was I saying before? Okay, yeah. What was I saying before?
Typecasting.
You were talking about typecasting, and then how
Oh
you're the
yes,
best at
I am
typecasting.
so good with typecasting. I can walk into a restaurant and I can just be looking around. Okay, I see a kid with a bun, with a hat, with like a man bun, with a Supreme backpack, with Jordans on. Okay, he's a douchebag. We'll go over to this guy.
Okay.
I can see it. And it's bad. It's a bad thing. It's a bad trait that I have. And it really is because you, of course, don't judge a book by its cover. I go by that all the time. Do not. I understand that, but I have fun doing it. Like I
It's
don't
one of
live.
those things that like I kind of more or less do that too, but it's not necessarily just like no offense to you, Turbo, but you gave it
Yeah.
like a bad representation. And it's what it actually is you're sizing people up by looking at details that they're
Yeah.
representing themselves with. It's
That's what
not
I'm
judging
saying.
a book. It's
No,
like,
yeah.
okay, this person, like, say for example, they have like a big stain on their shoulder, their shirt.
Yep.
Maybe they don't care about that shirt, and maybe today's
Yeah.
not their day. You can tell details about people just by looking at them.
And that's
It's
that's
not
what I
judging
hate
them.
too.
It's just what
Of
you're
course.
portraying to me.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying too. Like whenever I got, and I have like it's a funny intro skit idea, and I'm probably a full video idea, and I don't want to say anything much about it, but it's like sort of like that. But even when I'm out, like for example, the way I got that idea was I was at a Shake Shack with my dad. We got our food, we're sitting down, and I was eating, and I see this kid with a Supreme backpack, with the man bun, with the whole getup. And now I'm looking, I'm like, what's his fucking deal? Like, what's this kid's deal? Like, what is he got going on in life? And I'm like, he probably, he probably surfs on the weekends, probably has like those ankle bracelets with the jewels on them. He probably, he probably does that type of stuff. And then in my head, I'm like, you know what though? I don't care. I shouldn't, I shouldn't care about, what he does. So that's it. You don't care, but it's just fun. In my opinion, it's fun to do. In my head, it's just fun.
Your typecast of me is probably like the super, super deep thinker.
Well, no. The reason why I said that about you because I seen it on Twitter about the devil and the dark and this
Oh,
and like
that's
that.
so. The
That's-
reason I've been using all the gifts
Mm.
from Lucifer is just because it fucking worked with the characterization I've made with the channel now.
Okay.
Plus, I
Lux
fucking love
Arkangel.
Lucifer. Yeah, that name was completely based off of like Lucifer comics and
Yeah, wait a
Lucifer
second.
series.
Wait,
Great
yeah, and wait,
series.
wait. So you had
Great series.
Arkham Reaper. You had
I went from
zombies.
DC to Marvel back to DC. Technically
Shit.
speaking.
Turbo's
I'm a
Turbo's
huge-
confused. He's so confused.
I'm a huge fucking comic nerd. That's why on my Twitter, like when you look at my bio, all the things I have listed there are all things I really enjoy and love, like zombies, Overwatch, comics, Smite.
Wow, I haven't heard anything about Overwatch in a while.
Oh, that's because
Wow.
that game, if you're not really super part of the community,
Yep.
is relevant at this point
Mhm.
because of the battle royale genre.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm hoping that this will be like the last one. I mean, unless something else comes up where it's like if I get a situation like what happened with you at like ZWC where everyone says maybe just stick with turbo instead of having it be artificial turbo. Like if someone comes up to me and says, I think you should just stick with just Lux, then I might just go to Lux. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be something along the lines of what I have right now.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you guys saw the documentary I did about artificial gaming, and it was like the reason why I changed the name was because I was at ZWC 2, and
Yeah.
the things YouTubers were inspiration. Like they would tell me man, they were like Lex, biggest guy, came out. He goes just Turbo, Turbo. Turbo. He goes not
use
AR.
Turbo?
Wait. Sorry to interrupt. Lux, does he sound different to you?
Yeah, did you turn on
my
the voice changer?
I got right now.
He completely had like you turned on the voice changer.
I thought some
what
imposter
the
had taken over your body and was just like, "Hey guys, how you doing?"
Okay, we can't hear you at all now, Turbo.
Oh great, now it's my.
Yeah, now we can't hear you at all. We
We
broke it. We broke Turbo.
Oh no, he's. Oh, no.
We broke Turbo.
Hello.
There
Yes,
he
there you
is.
go.
That's
And
the
you
Turbo
sound
we
normal.
know.
Okay, you want to know why that happens? I was really deep, bro. Like this. I was talking like
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
And
great.
Mike, if I flick the wire a little bit or something like that happens, it goes downhill. I'm sorry if I fucked.
That's great.
I don't think I fucked up your boxes, right? Because we're in the same
No,
order.
it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Did
It
it-
came back exactly how I
Yeah,
planned it.
you see, that's
Turbo,
how
did
I
you
like
fix-
it.
That's how we
Did you
roll.
fix your issues that you were having I think it was your first Blackout stream, or it might have been your multiplayer stream where you couldn't make it sound like you and the stream both heard game audio.
I couldn't hear. Yeah, I need a mix amp. I need a mix amp or a splitter because the way Elgato works, as many of you guys probably know, the Elgato you like. I can put this headphone jack. I can put my headphones in here to hear the game audio. It would take away game audio from the Elgato, so no game audio would be on the stream. So I'm like, okay, how I can't play a battle royale with no game audio, even though game audio in the battle royale is a little bit broken because when you're playing with your friends, their footsteps sound like boom, boom, boom. The enemies are like that's how. So it's like weird.
Like just quickly, I have a couple of things that I want to say here. Right, going back quickly about what you were saying about like the typecasting, where you walk into a bar and you're constantly looking at people like figuring out who they are, that sort of thing. Well, this is how I picture you, right? I can picture your character, right, in kind of a 1940s setting. You're kind of like a freestyle detective type person, right? You've got the hat, you've got the everything, and you literally walk in and you're just like. I can picture you. That's being your character. Like that's how I see it.
Ooh. First of all, love that hat. First of all,
I've had this hat for so many years.
Wait a minute, where's my hat? Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. I'm gonna get. Oh wait, I got it.
Oh wait, we're going for a hat stream now, are we? This is great.
Are we doing
Wait,
hats?
1 second,
I
yeah.
don't own hats, guys. The last
well,
hat
that's
I owned, I gave
So
away.
Rip for
It
you,
was my
man.
World War II. It was my World War II hat. I gave it to my cousin.
My
Right?
boy with the fedora. My boy
fedora!
with the fedora.
Look at me. I look like Frank Sinatra.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's podcast.
I don't own hats, dog.
We're
Oh, it
staying
doesn't-
like this. I don't care.
Hats
I'm
aren't
staying
my
like
thing.
this.
Okay, why not?
I'm saying like this. I don't care, but this is me.
Also,
Still left out.
like the second
I
thing
like that. I like that type.
Oh,
I
no,
like it. I
And
like
we're
it.
the rabbit.
No, you were not.
like, the second thing was I want to say is like you say that you're saying it like Aluxi and he changes his name quite a lot, right?
Yeah.
But you've always known me as Lobster, Mad Lobster 17. That's how
Yeah.
you've always known me, and Lux as well. Is how he's always known me. But
Yeah.
in fact, before I came up with Mad Lobster 17, I had 5 to 6 gamer tags before I even
Ooh.
came up with this one.
Wow.
And this is the one that kind of like it's one of those. It's the gamer tag where it's sticking with you. Like it feels
Yeah.
right. And
When you hear Mad Lobster, how can you not ask more questions? How can
Right?
you not? How can
Exactly.
you not
Well, in-
ask more?
well, in fact,
First time I
actually,
saw this
yeah.
man's name in Reed's chat, I was like, "That's a dope ass name." And then after
Cheers,
we
man.
started
Thank you.
talking, I was like, "This guy's cool." And then we got talking about it, and I made his like channel.
this guy's
thing.
fucking talented.
Like,
He's fucking
so
talented.
good.
First of all, isn't it crazy how all three of us have gotten in contact? I don't know if it was from. I don't know. Mad Lobster, how did you find the channel out?
Your channel.
Yeah.
I
Was it from Reed or something, or was it just passing by and saw a video or something?
gotta find out the channel.
Because I was gonna say, 'cause I know
that was it. It was a video that kind of appeared on my recommended. This was quite a while ago. It appeared on my recommended, and I watched it. And actually, I remember now. I remember now.
got it.
I was watching one of your videos, and then I sent you a tweet about it saying keep up the great work.
Yeah.
That video appeared in my recommended on my YouTube page, and that's how I came across your channel. Now, Lux, I met Lux through Reed. Enough said.
I was gonna say
yours
that.
one-
Yeah.
The old
I was
one,
gonna
it
say,
was
Everyone
yeah.
needs to read because my videos are not that big or popular. Like
I was
ever.
gonna say, I was gonna be like, this is crazy how we all are here because of Reed's channel. But then I found, that's why I actually, I don't think Mad Lobster he found me from Reed. But I remember
Well,
me and I was in the chat, and you were Arkham Reed at the time. I was in the chat, and I was just talking about blah. And I think I was actually in a game with Reed. That was like when
Yeah.
I was going to open.
Yeah, I
lobby.
think we met through an open lobby stream. Yeah.
Yeah, open lobbies, and then I think you said something about working together, and then that's when I said I'm always at work. Then you tweeted
Yeah.
me, and then
Yeah,
and then now we're here. Look at us.
Now we're here.
Look
now
at
we're
us.
It was
here.
weird because the other day, me and Answer were duoed, and then for
Mhm.
Blackout, and then we were gonna try and get Mata and Unknown, and we were just gonna and I was streaming, so I was like, we're gonna be the Reed's Mod Squad.
Reed's Mod
Woo.
Squad.
Let me ask you this question: how's Juan?
How's Juan? I like
Yeah,
Juan.
do you know Juan? You know.
Yeah,
Juan, right?
I played with Juan a couple times in the open lobbies.
I have no problems with Juan. He just has a problem with me. I don't know why I have a problem. Juan has a.
Juan, I think Juan is lovely. I think you're lovely.
I don't have no problem with Juan, but Juan, every time, I remember when I first started, I hate talking about myself like this, I swear to God, but when the engine started getting warm, the channel started to get a little recognition.
Before you know it, you're gonna start seeing steam appear from the ears, and you'll hear the ears coming.
Yeah. And Juan, every time I join chat and someone said something nice about me or someone said something hi to me, Juan would kind of put it down a little bit. Like he would kind of oh yeah, look who's here.
I honestly.
And that was a long
like-
time ago. I haven't talked to Juan like this in a while. And then I think one time he was like, oh yeah. And then we got into some little heated conversation to where I was like, man, I wish I can just be on Discord all day fucking around on channels. He goes, what do you mean? I'm like, man, only if my only responsibility was just fucking kissing Reed's ass all day. I was like, I wish that was me. And he looked, and he not looking at me, of course, but I think on his on Discord.
Yeah, I would understand if he gets upset about that.
And then I was like, and then after that, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. But yeah, I don't have a problem with them. I don't care. Like that's the thing with me. You can have a problem with me one day, next week, and be like, I don't care.
Well, see, we had that you and me because we had that DMs there.
We had, bro. There was times where somebody could have said to me, "Oh, Turbo, you look good today." I'm like, just shut the fuck up. just
Don't
be
you
quiet. Because you know those days like you're irritated for
Yeah.
no reason.
Yeah.
You know, you're just annoyed for no reason.
Yeah.
And I recently have I been having those days. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. If you caught the end of the podcast, that's because of everything going on. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
fucking. But yeah, I don't know where we were. We were going off the rails a lot this podcast, and I think it's because of me. And I'm sorry because that happens to my podcast.
Dude. It's fine. But I just want to quickly go back and tell you the behind Mad Lobster 7.
Yeah.
Going behind Game Attack and stuff like that. Well, actually, and I was tempted to tell him this, but I don't know how he'd react to it because even though we're on, it seems like we're really good friends at the moment, but. He still frightens me a little bit. I don't know why, but there's something about I'm just afraid he's going to turn around and say, "Oh, fuck."
Who?
Reed.
Oh, why would he be mad?
I don't know why. I just have a little sense. But Mad Lobster 17 actually comes from a slight inspiration from Rad Austin 27.
Okay.
I don't think Reed would be very, very.
No,
He probably wouldn't. He probably
That's
wouldn't. It's probably just me being paranoid,
the greatest form of flattery.
Flattery is imitation.
Imitation.
Yeah, and that's kind of where it came from.
And to be completely fair, not trying to discredit this podcast in any way, but I feel like Reed probably already feels like it is what it is, and this podcast and pretty much any podcast that's the same sort of formatting as Zombros is probably inspired by it. So I think Reed by this point you probably used to
the podcast. It is what his podcast is 110% inspired by Zombros. When I was on Zombros told Reed that I said, listen to me. I said, you know how crazy it is me on this fucking podcast right now. Yeah. When the podcast I'm on every week was from this like this is like it was a crazy and I'm gonna be very honest with you here. With all the stress and shit that I was going under with ZWI and the whole voting polls and stuff, when I got told that I won and I was invited to ZWI, I wasn't even excited anymore at that point because of all the stress and everything that was going on. Of course I was really excited. Yeah, of course I was really excited and stuff like that. And mind blown, very happy. But at the time I was like,
the controversy around it and all the annoying stuff took it away. I know. I was talking to you about it and I was like, I completely understand that. Which all of that stuff was the exact reason I saw it coming a mile away. That's why I didn't even apply to try to do that. I was like, that would be cool to do, but I just know like where the zombies community is as a whole. I feel at this moment, like we were saying it the other day about like where the community's at, where it's just like people are just at that point where they just want to complain about everything and make everything an issue. So it's just like I don't.
So you want to know what? The point when they weren't complaining, the video itself meant more than the numbers with the video.
Yeah.
Now you post the video, probably pause the video, black it out, don't even look at it, go straight to the numbers, straight to the analytics. If it's not the analytics, then they're like, this game sucks. Why? Because I can't make content on it. The game could be the best game of 2018, but if their content ain't working, such a shit game. I'm going to go back to Fortnite and make content on that. Listen, just because Fortnite hit the nail on the head with content and gameplay, universally loved, just because it hit the nail on the head with that aspect, you can't say that about Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a franchise. It keeps making millions, keeps making money. In my opinion, I feel like it would never die. I feel like this FPS Call of Duty will never die because it will never die because it's still making money. They don't. At the end of the day, when you buy a Call of Duty, do you think they give a shit how you like it? The devs, of course, maybe because they're putting the hard work into it.
Yeah,
but Activision, they don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, put it this way, right? Like, put it this way, right? Like, I know Lobster is from the UK and Turbo, you're from the States.
Yeah.
But so you guys know the mystery box edition of Blackout 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
That here in Canada costs $260. And put it in the perspective, Turbo. My currency is worth more than your currency is. So so realistically, from your money to mine, you'd be paying about $300, $400 here for the mystery box edition.
Crazy.
And the fact that they charge you that much for that alone, and then they also are charging that much for those stupid premise statues is insane.
That's not statues, man. They're way overpriced.
But that's the thing. That's not Treyarch doing that. That is completely Activision, and that's the thing. They don't give a shit whether or not you buy
When
that.
I was,
I hear
that
premise
will
statues,
buy
my heart
that,
slightly goes
and
like,
they're making fuckload of money. They don't give a shit. They're rich.
when I was on my vacation, that's when everything was going on. I got my laptop, got on a hotspot. I'm like, I'm watching the live stream. I'm watching everything's going on. Okay, I get the link to the statues. I go on the statues. It says $250.
dollars.
In Canada, I guarantee you that'd be
I
no
almost
less
shit.
than 300.
Like I almost
Guaranteed.
honestly shit. Like I looked at that, I was like, like I almost had a heart palpitation. It was bad. I go to Vinny. I'm like, Vin, $1,000 for the premise reviews. $1,000. He goes, what am I gonna sacrifice a goat to get this thing? Like, what do I gotta do?
Exactly.
Crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
Man.
like when all of that stuff was announced, like I've pre-ordered the mystery box edition. It's only like £170 over here in the UK, so it's even lower. It's
That
lower
must be
than,
nice.
way lower than yours, Lux, and it's even lower than yours, Turbo.
Yeah.
But it's
That
But
must
the
be nice.
conversion and everything, it means the same thing. The
yeah,
conversion.
it does. Yeah,
and
so
Yeah,
it's
at the end of the
170
day, yeah.
£170 over here.
Yeah.
And I was more than happy, like, because I missed out on the Juggernaut edition for Black Ops 3. I was like, okay, I don't care what the fuck it is. As soon as I'm for pre-order, I went to my game and I was just like, yo, have you got this in stock? And he was just like, yeah, we can pre-order it. And I was just like, yes.
I asked the exact same day as Comic-Con. Literally the exact same day as that expo happened, I went into my local game store and I was like, I need this now. And they're like, oh, we can't sell it till tomorrow. I was like, I will be here as soon as you open. And I was.
God damn.
Yeah, but and then because I was with Spike actually, and we were kind of listening to the stuff that we did a reaction to the Blood of the Dead intro cutscene, which I really enjoyed doing that video. Then we're just hearing all the information, and then we heard about the statues. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And they showed the picture and everything, and I thought they looked badass. They looked really, really good. And then I went onto the website. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna went onto the website. Saw that it was $250. I was just like, Activision?
Nope.
Why 250? I'm a poor man. I can't afford that. Why do you do this to me? Like,
Okay,
I'm just
so this is a funny story. The other day, somebody was asking me if I wanted to. So I was at my local game store again. They're like, "Hey, do you want to place a pre-order for Assassin's Creed Odyssey?" And I was like, "I don't know. That depends. When does it come out?" And they're like, "It comes out in October." And I was like, "Listen, I got Black Ops 4 that I still need to pay the rest off of. And I got Call of Cthulhu, which comes out in October as well.
Yeah.
And a comic for Constantine that comes out in November. So, like, I don't have money to spend on another game.
I'm lucky at things I'm lucky at things I'm looking forward to. Only one costs money, which is Black Ops 4. I have that coming out on October 12th. Big Mouth Season 2 on Netflix, October 5th. Yes. What else we got here? Young Sinatra 4, Logic's album, September 28th or 25th. I'm gonna say 28th. But yeah, October's always that time of year, man. But think about it though. Think about it. We wouldn't be getting Call of Duty in a few weeks if it was October 12th. Think about it. November 6th was always the November 3rd, November 6th. You know,
Yeah,
I remember Black Ops 3 crying when October was taking so long. I was like, oh my god.
It was the drag.
I'm like, when I honestly, like, Halloween was like the day I was like, I just can't wait for Halloween, because after that it's November 1st, and just please, you know?
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that, because like from when Black Ops 4 was first announced, and like the information that the community reveal was going to be on May 17th, global launch October 12th. From that day when it was very first announced to now, and coming through, like, because we're practically halfway through September already. Do you think this journey has taken longer or shorter?
Journey for what exactly?
So journey from when we first found out about Black Ops 4 to its release, and like, because you were saying about when Black Ops 3 came out, you were saying October was a real drag. Like, it took forever. Do you feel that way through September now? Because I think it's going fucking fast as fuck, boy.
It's flying.
Absolutely flying.
I think that since the reveal that Black Ops 4 was the game, and that we got the community reveal and all that, I think that flew by really fast. specifically for myself, I can't speak for you guys, but I would assume maybe for you guys as well. But specifically for me, because as Lobster and I guess Turbo knows, I really enjoyed World War II. So
Yeah.
I didn't find myself ever really having a need for like, I'm so bored because I was
You-
like, I have
You
games.
really enjoyed World War II, like.
Yeah, dude.
I do.
I'm
Which
still
listen, I'm not one of those fucking guys that are like, oh, you like World War II? Like, no,
Yeah.
do what you
yeah.
want.
See, that's the thing. Me and Lobster have talked about this plenty. Like, I I've had like numerous interactions with people on Twitter now
Mhm.
that just get really upset that I don't agree with their opinion. And then they get really upset and block me. But here's the thing, right?
Oh, who blocked you? I need to know. I need to know who blocked you.
Mr. Waffle Waffles
Yeah, it was
and Mr.
Milo.
Dalek JD
Oh,
both
Dalek
blocked.
blocked you as well.
Yeah, both of them. That's why I replied to your thing saying I bet it is cool, but I can't see it. That would be why.
That's
I can't
why.
see
That
what
explains it
he
so
tweets.
much.
Yeah, so they both blocked me because of the fact that me and Delta were replying to Milo's tweet talking about how the Chaos storyline shouldn't be given a chance, which makes no sense. But anyway,
You got
we're not
blocked
talking.
from that?
Yeah, we
he
were
did.
well because we were disagreeing about it, and we were
ridiculous.
like, that's not how things work, Milo.
Wasn't that
But
on
anyway, we're
Zoom?
not talking about that. But like, I get into all these interactions, and here's the thing: I don't hate Milo, I don't hate Dalek, I don't hate Lex. I disagree with them, and if they come to me, like, this is what makes me upset about them. They're very intelligent people. I know this. Milo is literally getting a degree in fucking physics. I know he's a fucking intelligent person. But when he decides to not actually really give a good debate, like he's just like, nope, World War II is awful. No reason why. It just is. That is lazy thinking. And I'm like, you're an intelligent person. You can do better than that. Versus when I talk to guys like Lobster and you, where you're like, okay, I played all the maps, or I played these maps, and I didn't enjoy them because of this
I
reason.
feel like
And it's like, fair.
you know, and I see where you're going with that also, but you have to understand also, maybe they do, because I know them, they're not the person, they're not the people to be like, oh, you don't like this, then fuck you. They're not like that. Maybe on Twitter, maybe the words got twisted, maybe you read, you know, people are reading things with different contexts, and that always happens on Twitter. Like, when someone can tweet out, oh, I love my dog, but somebody can read it like, I love my dog. Like, some read it like that, but, and you're like, I'm saying I love my dog. And that's like Facebook. You put a picture of
it can easily take it out
That's
of context
anything,
and what it was meant
you can
to.
put a picture of a cat on Twitter. Oh, I love my cat, and then something like, your cat fucking sucks. Like, all right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's not even what they said. It's more in the sense of like they don't, like Reed said this too, is they're not adding anything to the conversation. And like they're more or less begrudging people for liking it. It's like, you like World War II, you're not allowed to because that game sucks.
Because I remember on Zombros hearing about those tweets.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about those tweets. I didn't know you were involved in all of that.
Yeah, because
and then they were also talking about Lex's video afterward when Lex was reacting to DLC 4's announcement. But the thing that I didn't like about that video was Lex is one of those people, and I feel like it's a lot of hyperbole just to, you know, adhere to his audience, but it might not be, where he's reacting to the DLC 4 trailer, and anything that Sledgehammer does, he's just gonna be like, it's shit. But if Treyarch did the exact same thing, he'd be like, this is the greatest thing of all time, which is the only thing I don't like about
That's not even just him. That's the Call of Duty community.
I know,
Yeah,
and that's what upsets me, because it's like, literally, they could do the exact same things. Like that, I actually made a meme about it. It was a Joker meme, and it was like, whenever Treyarch like sneezes, everyone's like, 30-minute tutorial video on breaking down what this sneeze means, and then it ends up being nothing. But then anything Sledgehammer does, who cares? It's shit.
I mean, it's like, because I mean, what you said about it being the entire, like, pretty much the whole Call of Duty community. They're just like they're always praising Treyarch and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to deny Treyarch have earned my trust and respect because they've developed it over a course of 10 years. But I'm always inclined to give the other developers a shot. IW Zombies, I gave a chance. World War II Zombies, I gave a chance. AW Zombies, I gave a chance. But they didn't resonate for me, through different reasons. But if we're talking about like World War II specifically, I found the replayability to be very, very low. It just didn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
I found the Wooslings to be very, very annoying.
That's always it, is replayability. It's always
and it's just like the story. I appreciate what they did with the story. I think Cameron Dayton done a good job, but it's just I didn't.
And that right there is what separates the discussion that I'm like, yes, I welcome that, versus what came up within those tweets with like Milo and them, where it was just like World War II's shit. and like if they were to say I didn't like World War II because I played each map and I didn't like it for this reason, and they give a reason, even if I don't agree with that reason, I can be like, fair enough.
Yeah.
But if you're just saying it's bad because it's bad,
yeah, I just think at the end of the day, I mean, knowing for myself, they're all great guys. They mean no harm to anybody, But Twitter, anything going on Twitter, just social media, things get taken out of hand, things get petty, and first and foremost, honestly, did it get that far? This is not even just by them. Did it get that far that they had to block you?
Yeah,
I don't think it did. I don't think it got that far.
But it didn't get far. It didn't get far in the sense that they were. It was a very, very long discussion between Milo, Lux, and Dark, and whatever.
And they were replying. They were going back and forth.
Literally, I saw Milo reply to Lux, and he said something along the lines of, "I'm too tired to understand your ways, and don't tell me you have the community's best interest at heart." And I saw that tweet, and I was just like, Milo, he's giving an explanation as to why, and you seem to be A, taking it out of context, and B, you are then going out of your way to block him because he disagreed with you. And that's the way I saw that reply in the conversation. But I didn't know Dalek blocked you. But that's
I don't know why Dalek did. I think it was because it was a conversation started by Dalek, and then it was a bunch of like other responses and stuff from me, Delta, and all that stuff. But like, and here's the thing too, I didn't like, as much as I don't know how Milo intended that comment, I didn't really even take it as a insult or anything like that. Again, I have nothing against Milo or anybody else. Like, even I was recently debating with Dame the Game, but we were debating about nothing to do with zombies. But like, I don't care if you disagree with me. Like, I don't mean I don't care in the sense I don't care. It's more I don't care if we have different opinions. But if you come to me and you give me your opinion and you have something to back it up that makes sense, then I can be like, sure, agree to disagree. But if you're just being like, these are the reasons, but the reasons that I can be like, that isn't a very good reason. It's one of those things. If you're adding to the conversation, you're being like, okay, this is a good reason, and I can't just sit there and be like, that reason makes no sense at all, I have no issue with it at all.
It's like, I mean, it's kind of one of the things that really bugged me. Like, when I'm in a conversation with somebody, and if they were to turn around and just say it's shit without giving a logical reason, an explanation, I then turn around and say, well, then your opinion is invalid because you're not giving an explanation. You're just saying it's shit. If someone was to turn around to me and give, like, sit me down and say, I don't like this because of these reasons, I'm more than inclined to hear him out. But if someone just turns around and says it's shit, I don't like it, then I'm just well, then I don't really. You
always have to have that open mind. Anything you talk about.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the only thing that I have to against anybody is just, if you're not gonna actually add to the conversation and discuss it like a civilized human being, then I don't have to sit there and just like let you berate me with random things, being like, it's shit, stop enjoying yourself, it's shit.
Which I learned too from the whole ZWI thing. There's also a time on Twitter where you need to shut off your phone or something and just fucking let it go.
Yeah,
it's Twitter. It's Twitter. The shit you're writing today would probably take you years to scroll to find tomorrow. That's exactly what Twitter is. And I think that Twitter is the kid Joe, who was on the podcast today, producing and beats and stuff like that. I kept telling him, like, Joe, you need to put the importance on Twitter because Twitter is important. Okay, if I had Twitter when I first started making videos again on Average Gaming, oh my god, I don't think we would be big. I think I would be at least a little bit like more well known, like who Turbo is now, because the crazy shit if you scroll on the channel, the crazy shit we were doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen some of the shit you guys did.
No, yeah, like it was like all of like for this year too. We do in the documentary we confirmed that we're doing a countdown to Christmas this year on the channel, and countdown to Christmas starting from December 12th all the way to December 25th. Yep. Every day a new Christmas video will be posted on the channel, and we did that 2 years ago. The year of Black Ops 3. So we make videos like what's in my eggnog, Christmas trivia, what else? Making your own Christmas songs. We did crazy shit like that. But during those moments, like I could have tweeted out like, "Oh, we're doing this crazy shit, whatever we're doing." Man, it's funny. I could, but
that's some of the highlights of my Twitter feed is when I see a Turbo video about anything on Twitter where he's just losing his mind. Like honestly, you're like if I was to make a comparison between actual celebrity people that I know of, I would compare you to like a mixture between The Rock and Ric Flair. The Rock because you got the swagger of The Rock, but the Ric Flair because you lose your shit like Ric Flair in your videos.
Of the Rock. I fucking love you. Okay, let's go on a date. Fuck, I'm gonna tell your girlfriend back up. Tell your girlfriend back up. I'm coming to Canada. Wow, the swag of The Rock. Which, by the way, he's in every fucking movie now. Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because of his swagger.
Ric Flair. You know what's funny? Ric Flair is I feel like Ric Flair is a very, very underrated like guy in the celebrity world because Ric Flair is the man. Ric Flair is a G.
I've never really heard of him.
It's from professional wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah, WWE. I just saw something on Twitter right now, actually. New drama alert is live. Jake Paul exposed. Logan Paul hacked. Father underage.
God, it's just those things. Oh my god.
This is it, folks. You know what? I will officially say I made it years to come if Keemstar ever like puts me in a drama alert. Like that's when you know you fucking you know you made it when you had a false sexual assault claim on you. That's when you know you made it. So hopefully one day I can have Keemstar say which would be false. I would never do sick shit like that. Fucking Keemstar. Turbo from the Call of Duty community touches Misty and then
that means the only person in all of Call of Duty Zombies that I know of that's made it by that definition is Codename Pizza.
Did he actually be on Zombies Drama Alert?
Yeah, he was on Drama Alert for proposing to his girlfriend while relations was coming out.
No shit.
Yeah,
that's
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
For some reason, he was on Drama Alert because he got married.
I did not know. Now I know why fucking Q9Z said we get it. You got mad in that video. We get it. You got married. By the way, what's going on with that guy?
With Q9Z?
Yeah, I feel like he's been like blacklisted. I don't even know what's going on.
I think what happened, from what I understand, is apparently he went and decided to start a second channel specifically for either Battlefront and or Fortnite.
No.
I know Battlefront was part of it. I don't know if the Fortnite was part of it or not, but I think that was the idea. And then he split off from Zombros and Zombies just because of the lack of content and lack of stuff for that.
Well, I'm thinking the biggest thing they probably kicked him off Zombros for is because, like you said, I knew he was into Star Wars. Like I knew he was into Star Wars, knew he was into those other games. Why have someone that doesn't even have the passion of zombies anymore on Zombros? That's what I thought. So I don't know if
I have no idea. And I honestly don't really it's not that I don't care, but I don't want to press Reader John about it because honestly, one, it's not our place to really ask. And two, realistically, what good does that information?
But also, too, I don't know if you got the email too. I got an email because I was a Premise supporter of the.
Oh, you're a Premise as well.
Yeah, well, I was. I didn't do it this month, but when I got the email when John was like, "Oh, what you call it, we're switching. We're not making you."
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the email.
The email. He wrote the email, and I was reading it, and I read between the lines. Like I see what the
Yeah.
main point is, and I also see the what they really
Yes.
intend to do.
Yeah.
And then when they were like, "Oh, us and Quinn try to get a like an agreement. We didn't get on time." Right there, rings in my head. A bell rings like something happened.
Yeah, I mean it's.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean the whole Z stuff is. I think is what Reed and John are trying to do is they're trying to put it in the past. Like they've got the new Patreon now. It's launched very, very well. It's doing really good.
They're trying to do it as best as possible as far as a business is concerned,
They've
because of the
already
fact
sent out-
that realistically, technically, the rest of us, as far as Patreon supporters or just in general viewers, we are technically just more or less consumers. They do value us as more than that, but we are technically consumers, and they are technically a business. And I honestly I think that's why I know in a stream that after that happened, I can't. If you kick me in the head, I wouldn't remember which stream it was. But there was a stream where Reed said something along the lines of, "I'm being more careful now with who I trust," and some stuff along those lines.
We talked
And I
about
think
that.
was in.
Yeah. We talked about
And
the
I think that was-
podcast I was on. I was like, Reed, I was like, the one thing I'm learning, growing in this community is you need to be careful on who you work with. Like,
Yes, it was on
Definitely.
Rose. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
on Rose that you were on.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he was just saying that, and I think that was in more or less a slight reference to Quinn, because you got to think, right?
Well, I don't
Being a
want
co-host
to. I'm not
on
gonna.
a stream
not
like
gonna.
that,
Yeah,
and doing like thirdsies on a Patreon, that's huge trust. And then all of a sudden you lose it to one guy.
Yeah.
Breaks that hard. So
And
I understand that completely.
like, and I'm gonna, in the same, like, I'm just gonna say, these people that, the one thing I also learned now is you need to surround yourself with positive people so much. You can't, you cannot have negativity, because once you get negativity from here, and here, it gets in here, and then you flatline. It gets to your head. And, like people like, for example, kids I worked with, like people I had on the podcast, and not that this one, but I had the RPG Gaming podcast. When that was going on, they would join, and just people I would meet on Twitter and stuff like that. They get very consumed with clout, with the clout they want. They get very consumed by it. They get they get money hungry. They get view hungry. Some of the shit, man. Like, you need to sit back one day and say, I know he has no problems with me. I know he or she has no problems with me. I got no problems with them. But at the same time, I'm not liking the positive energy they're bringing out. And I unfollowed some people I have no problems with, but it's like, I remember like the last one I did was like, I think last week I unfollowed someone, and I was like, 'cause I rarely unfollow people. So I unfollowed this one person, and I was like, I don't really think we have beef, but at the same time, I don't like the positivity he's bringing out. Like, you need to surround yourself around positivity.
I mean,
and that's
you were
why
talking about just what you quickly while you were talking about reception being around positive. I just want to quickly go back to one of the topics here. It's talking about the Blackout reception and how much it's like how much positive reception it's received, not just from like the Call of Duty community, but people who streamed a lot, Fortnite and PUBG. Like it's had such a positive impact. Not so much impact, but it's had such good reception, such good reviews. It's people like people are turning around and saying it is a refined PUBG. And for people and for long-time fans of PUBG to turn around and say that, I think is proving that Black Ops 4 is just going to be as much of a hit as what we expected to.
Yep. Yeah, I think aside from Lex's memeing videos talking about Ninja and talking about it, because he makes one comment and Lex makes like a 2-hour long video. But besides the
classic
point,
Lex.
But like aside from that, I think there's actually a large amount of people outside of the actual Call of Duty community that are more or less saying things along the lines of Call of Duty is back, in the sense that people are actually genuinely really well receiving not just Blackout, but Black Ops 4 so far as a whole. Like I was talking to a guy yesterday while I was at my day job, and and we were talking about Call of Duty games, and we were saying like honestly, Black Ops 3. If you're not a fan of the exosuit movement, Black Ops 3 was not good for anybody that wasn't a zombies player. For us, it's all good because we are zombies players.
Yeah.
Zombies was great. But if you're not a zombies player, that was not that good.
It wasn't with Black Ops 3. The campaign really dropped. Like, I'm a zombies player by any means necessary. I love zombies. I've always loved zombies.
Yeah.
I've always been a zombies player when it comes to Call of Duty. I do try out the multiplayer and I've played the campaigns. Black Ops 3 campaign did not resonate with me that well. I was confused by the story and I wasn't a fan of the mechanics. Multiplayer was okay. I felt the movement system was quite smoothly done, and so I felt it done all right there. But obviously, zombies has been my main attraction, and as with Black Ops 4, it's again my main attraction. Like I see the trailer for 9 Voyage and then the teaser for Blood of the Dead at the main reveal event. I'm just like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then all of a sudden, the Chaos storyline trailer comes out, and I'm just like, fuck me, this looks incredible. Then we get the intro for Blood of the Dead, which, by the way, I think is possibly the best intro trailer I've ever done. And I like, you see Victor's in there, the lab, the fact that we're gonna spawn on the dock that had PhD Flopper on it.
Loved it.
The fuck you mean? And
I can't wait to just jump right in, man. I want to play zombies. That is what I want. I want to play zombies, and I cannot wait.
I actually made a tweet at Treyarch. It didn't get any response or anything, but I made a tweet at Treyarch and I was saying like, why don't they just make it so that way the Blackout Beta goes until launch of the game, or maybe a couple days before launch, so that way then like, because I know they have to make an actual different sort of like title update or like patch, so that way all the modes are actually available. But like maybe go until like maybe a day or two beforehand, and then just let people enjoy this, because if you just keep riding this storm, it's gonna be good, and you can keep because of the fact they're in beta, they can keep pumping out updates like that.
Yeah, you can keep the community like going until the launch.
Yeah, but generally, I feel like Black Ops 4 is going to be probably the game that brings back old fans that left, and it's also going to be the game that just generally kind of blows up again, not in the sense of just numbers as far as like Twitch and YouTube viewership, but in general, I feel like this is the one that is kind of that wholesome experience for every type of player. As much as there isn't a single player campaign, you can still go and do Blackout in solo. You can still go and play zombies in solo. You can play multiplayer by yourself. So yeah, you're not getting a guided campaign, which as they were saying, so I don't know if you guys watched a bunch of those Game Informer videos when they were doing stuff for Blackout, but David Vonderhaar, and I think it was Dan Bunting.
Yes.
They were talking about how the reason why there is no campaign, they're like, realistically, we put in a lot of work to campaigns because we are passionate about them, and we're just passionate about the storytelling, so we can move that to other game modes. And realistically, the number of people who play the campaign to begin with is low. The number of people who will replay the campaign is even lower.
Yes.
So why have that when we can move the storytelling aspects into all of the game modes and have a lot more replayability? For me, that makes so much sense.
I haven't replayed a Call of Duty campaign besides Black Ops 2. I played the Black Ops 2's campaign like 3 times.
That's
I played the Black Ops 1.
I might play it a 4th. Who knows?
But to be fair though, the Black Ops 2 campaign has numerous endings and numerous choices.
Yes.
I've replayed the Black Ops 1 campaign about 8 million times and watched the game movie of it, because that is my favorite motherfucking campaign by a long shot.
The Black Ops 1 campaign.
That was a great campaign, Black Ops 1.
Fantastic. It was really well done. I love the characters. Love the gunfights. It really made you feel like you were in a war zone. But I think my favorite campaign from Treyarch has got to be World of War, because
I like World of War. That's my second.
Never played it. Never played the World of War
campaign. That campaign,
I
played it from start to finish, and as the credits were rolling, I was just sitting there like,
Lobster, correct me if I'm wrong. You were in the community when World at War came out, right?
I was not actually. I started on BO1 Ascension. That was when I
Okay, so
first
I'm
started
the
properly
only
getting
one.
into.
I'm the only one in the call that
Yeah, because
that was.
I remember you saying like a long time ago, like you were like, yeah, I'm here from World War. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I was the first. I'm the only one in the call here that has been here
How
since
old were
World
you
at
when
War.
that game came out then?
What year? It's 2018 now, so 10. I was about 10, give or take.
Shit.
So and the reason I
Yeah.
ask you guys that is because this was changed afterward. But if you guys didn't know this, when you played World at War's campaign the very first time, when the game first came out and people didn't know zombies was a thing,
Mhm.
you would complete the entire campaign, the last mission, the
Yeah.
credits would roll,
And then
and
zombies.
then
And
you would
then
load into Knockdown
Nazi
Totem,
zombies.
and
Yes.
you didn't have a choice. It was loaded in later that they made it that way you could choose to play zombies
Yeah.
afterward.
And it,
But yeah,
yeah.
I experienced that firsthand back in 2008, and
Wow.
I
Only
was
if I had that.
scared
That's the one-
shitless at 10 years old.
That's the one experience I wish I had.
Oh, yeah.
Like having that ability to say, I have experienced the best experience you could ever experience in zombies history, which is the first completing the campaign, going into the knocked, and there
Yeah.
you go.
Well, and it was even
Oh,
better
holy
at that
fuck,
time.
yeah.
Because
Great.
you gotta think, so, like, the reason, like, you guys know how Reed does that too, right? Where as soon as a map is released, he watches nothing until he plays it.
Yes. Yeah. He
That
got.
was the
Yeah.
At this point now, because of the internet and all that stuff, we have to force ourselves to do that. We have to stay off of the internet. But you got to think, back in 2008, YouTube was nowhere near as big. There
Yeah.
wasn't a big community. So experiencing Knocked right after the campaign, you didn't know there was something else after these credits.
No.
And it was weird because you got to think, back in the day, even before World at War, you could skip end credits because it was like nobody wants to watch credits. But in
Yeah.
World at War, before that patch, you had to watch the credits. So you were
Yeah.
like, why can't I skip these stupid fucking credits? And then all of a sudden, you load into Knocked. You didn't know this existed. So then what do you do the next day when you go to school? You go and tell your friends, like, guys, at the end of the Call of Duty campaign, there's a fucking zombies mode. And it's crazy. I made it to like round 5. And that's why zombies became so big. It was because of the fact that after it came out and people would, because it started out with just you go and talk to your
Yeah.
friends that play Call of Duty,
Yeah.
and it was just like, I made it to round 20. You made it to round 20? And that was a big deal back in the day. And then as
And-
maps released, they started getting technically easier.
But
And,
not
know.
just maps, but as the game's release as well. You look at Black Ops 3,
Yeah.
and I find Black Ops 3. Thing is that I find Black Ops 3 to be possibly the best zombies experience we've ever had, but also the easiest zombies experience we've ever had because of how powerful the guns are, because of how easy it is to get perks, because of the gobble gums. It's an easy experience, but because we had Chronicles, I find it to be the best experience of zombies to date.
Yeah, thus far, technically by just the overall, like, you get the most out of that game. That is definitely agreeable. But the thing that turned me off of it was because it was so easy, and it wasn't even like here's my thing, right? Like when people talk about buried, they're like, oh, buried's too easy. But here's the thing: if you don't use
The bank.
if you don't use the bank and you don't camp with the paralyzer, it's still mildly easy because it's still a freaking huge open map, so you can train for days.
Yeah.
But it's still a challenge when you're not using those things. Versus Black Ops 3, the only way it's not easy is if you don't use a gun. Or if you're insane like Smart Guy and you do a no-hit Easter egg attempt, which is fucking insane.
That dude, I swear
But-
that dude's always on
but
steroids. The
that
amount of
was the
challenges
thing
that he
that
does.
Yeah, that was the thing that turned me off of Black Ops 3 was that a lot of the maps for me were far too easy.
Yeah.
And they found the same trap that I didn't like about Kino, where it's like, I'm gonna do the same thing because if I don't do this,
That is
I'm just gonna find it boring.
That is the best thing I've heard about zombies in a long time. Is that Kino, you have no freeness, I feel like, in that map. You know, there's no different things you can do besides, okay, I'm only going to use snipers this game. I'm only going to use shotguns. That's the only, that's actually crazy. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Think about it for a second. Kino the Tone, you jump in. What
You
else
take
can
the
I do?
exact same route every
Yes.
single
Yes,
time.
you always go up
You
the
go for the
stairs.
exact same guns, and you run in circles on the fucking stage until you get
Yeah.
bored and kill yourself.
Yep. Let me lock
That
my
is
door
it.
because I can already see my family barging in here. So I'm gonna lock the door.
But like,
No.
and that was the issue. That was the issue I had with a lot of Black Ops 3 too. Like Turbo, you were saying the other day or earlier there that you were dying for Black Ops 3 to come out. That was me just before Zetsubo came out. That was me with Horizon Drop.
Wow.
At first, Horizon Drop launched, and I was like, "This is great. I love this." But after a while, I was like, "This is so boring. I take the exact same route every time. I always get the Stormbow, and I camp in a corner, or I run the same circle, and I just get to round 1,000,000, or I die because I got bored." And then I was dying for Zetsubo to come out. So that's another reason why I like Zetsubo, is also because I was dying for it to come out. And then it came out and I was like, this map is not very easy. Except for
but you
Gobblegums.
like it.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Wow,
like
fuck.
the fact that we're talking about maps actually leads quite nicely into one of our next topics. And it's mostly aimed at you, Turbo.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What?
All right, I'll admit it. I actually bought the votes.
I knew it. See, I told you.
Like,
I told you,
I
boys. I'm
admit-
done. I'm done.
Secretly, I'm older than I look. I was the one that developed Transit.
Even though I know you guys know me well, I still have to say I'm just kidding after those comments. God damn.
That's great. But like on the last podcast that Lux was on,
Yeah.
we went through and I actually made a video about this as well. We went through our top 5 maps of all time.
From
What are
all
your-
developers.
What are your top 5 favorite maps, Turbo?
From any developer.
Top
was
5.
my thing.
One second. God damn.
Oh,
now he's got to. Now he's really got to think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be
But-
interested in that.
But yeah, so did you kind of did you experience that too with Black Ops 3, where like some of the maps just like felt like they took forever to get through their season?
Sorry. I had my sister's boyfriend wanted to say happy birthday to me. I'm sorry. Top 5. I'm gonna say. Oh, my hat.
Wait a minute. Thank you.
I was just gonna
There
say,
we
get the
go.
fedora.
That's better.
Come on, how can you forget?
How can you?
I'm gonna say. Now, list 5 or just my
No.
one?
top
top
5.
five.
Top
Okay,
5 maps
we
of all
went-
time.
We went from the like number 5 up to 1. So that
Okay.
way your number 1 is like
Gotcha. I'm gonna say. Fuck. All right, let me think about
he's
this.
writing it down.
Okay,
He's gonna
are
write
we
it
go-
down.
Are we going nostalgia or are we just going like, like
It's
fan?
you. It's you. It's your
Just
top 5
personally,
maps
Your
of all
personal
time.
preference as to
5 to
why
1 or
you,
Let's go right here.
5 to 1, so like worst, like 5-ish and the best. Okay, gotcha. So 5, I'm gonna say 5 for me. You guys are probably not gonna like this. I'm gonna say Origins. I'm gonna say Origins for my number 5.
I'm done. I'm done.
at least it's not in his top like 3, okay?
So 5 is Origins in my opinion.
All right, come on, give us a next chick suggestion.
Wait, you want to give me a suggestion?
Oh, not really.
No.
Everything I say now, I feel I'm gonna be really, really critiqued. Okay. 4 for me. 4, I'm gonna go with Buried.
Really? I'm not the only person that likes Barry.
I feel so bad. He's expecting me to say like, yeah, Shadows of Evil, the Rise.
This man loves Shadows of Evil. I know he
Continue.
likes.
Okay, if I can not hurt your feeling, if I can let you off for easy with this one, it's not on my list. Shadows of Evil is not.
Yes.
It's honestly not.
Where's my
Like, I'm
pen?
done. I'm out. I'm
You
out.
want to know-
Okay, you want to know why it's not on my list? You want to know why? Because that's the only fucking map in Black Ops 3 I cannot get a good solo run on. Can't do it.
Fair
Can't
enough.
do it. Can't do it. I get the upgraded sword. I get the Apocalypse Servant. I get my gun with that wire, whatever the fuck. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't get the past 50. You're mad. I can see you're looking at me like I want to kill you. I want to get. All right, so
He's like,
5 I said origin. 5 I said origins. 4 I said buried. 3. 3 I'm gonna go. 3 I'm gonna go with. 3 I'm gonna go with Horizon.
Okay, we're getting better.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. All right.
Also, I want to say that my top 5 was updated because the Frozen Dawn came out, but carry on.
Okay.
That's why I said nostalgia because it's the way I feel on the map. So 3, Horizon. 2, Mob of the Dead.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Right, I'm gonna let you off for the 5 and 4 suggestions.
2 Mob of the Dead.
I'm done.
Okay.
This your number 1 spot will determine our future friendship.
That's why I asked nostalgia, what the map has to offer, and that's what I'm saying. Anything. So I'm going off based on what I like.
Okay.
1, because of all the great memories and stuff. Me and my friends had on it. I'm gonna go with Town.
Fair enough. See, we can't that isn't that bad.
Now
I don't mind
here's why. Hear me out. Here's
Town's
why.
not a bad suggestion.
Here's why I picked
Please
Town.
let me explain.
Let me explain. Okay. I want to just let you guys know this. I would come home from school, call my friends, hey, with the flip phone, hey, I want to play Call of Duty. My friends be like, oh, I don't want to play multiplayer. I'm like, all right, let's play zombies. What's one map you can hop in, get your 4 perks, get the box, get Pack-a-Punch, all in your fucking vicinity? Town. You don't gotta shove your hand in the Apothecan's asshole. You don't gotta finger Monty's balls. You don't gotta do that. You really don't gotta do that. You gotta just hop it. Right? What's your technique? Mine's this. That's my technique. Some people do this? Really? Okay. All right.
I'm not even gonna grace that question with an answer.
But that's it. I mean, that's the reason why the nostalgia and the fun I had with my friends on that map. If they do Zombies Chronicles 2 and Town is in there at its own classical map, I will not. You will probably see me playing that map more than probably any other map.
Okay.
Honestly.
That's an interesting top 5.
So what do you mean? What do you mean suggestions? Like what? And first, what are you gonna get down? I feel like I'm gonna get a note in the mail from the FCC. Like, yeah, so I heard you put fucking Origins 5th.
I'm not saying anything, but let us be written as we speak.
Okay, but to be fair, I feel like Turbo probably won't care enough, and Lobster, we already established this, but the rest of the community would crucify me. Mob and Origins are nowhere near my top 5.
Yeah, I know.
They're not even in my top 10.
So, to be fair, like you said, you've updated your top 5. Now, I remember your number 1 spot was Verrucht.
Yes, my number 1 spot is Verrucht, and that is still the same.
Okay,
my number 2 spot is still the Darkest Shore. I love the Darkest Shore.
Oh, you're just gonna name over 2 maps.
No, okay, so here's the thing. I liked the Frozen Dawn is probably my number 3, but then after that it's Treyarch for a long while. But I like the Darkest Shore and Frozen. I like the Darkest Shore and Frozen Dawn specifically. For the reasons that I already kind of told Lobster, but both of them, I haven't talked about Frozen Dawn, but both of them for me hit my sweet spots of like story, literature, things like that. Like when Frozen Dawn came out and I was getting all like the notes and stuff you can pick up and all the lore, I was like, this is shit that I was learning about and studying about myself in my own spare time before this game was a thought. This was all stuff I was like, I know this stuff. I love this stuff. I grew up with it. I learned about this shit.
Now I'm making the connection. Now I'm making the connection with you.
And it hit me at home. And I'm actually working. I'm actually working on 2 different videos. One of them is a retrospective talking about the whole season, what I liked and didn't like about the season, why I liked it, all that stuff. And then my second video is a more or less a World War II zombies timeline from prehistory, so like where Thule is, all the way up to the ending of World War II, as far as what happens as far as the timeline is concerned, as far as what we know for fact, and a bunch of theory that I'm gonna fill in. I don't know if Lobster or Turbo. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet from a day or two ago, but I came up with a possibility for a sequel to this game that would be fucking dope. I've seen it in like the 60s, so like we might see if they take my idea, which I doubt, but if they do, we might see Vietnam era again, which would be a fucking amazing.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
That would.
Yeah,
That would.
My thing for the zombies carrying on though is just like they carry on, and I don't know because Cameron didn't answer my tweet, but like I don't know if the Second World War still ends at the end of Frozen Dawn or if it's still going on. But either way, I feel like there's room and potential based on history of how the storyline can still get kind of meshed up, which is one of the things I liked about the ending of Frozen Dawn as well.
Yeah.
I have completed it, which I'm so happy about. Was that they're in a cycle, and I see all the people out there being like, "Oh, how can you not like the Treyarch cycle, but you like this cycle?" I was like, our characters had no idea they were in this cycle to begin with. Whereas the Treyarch cycle only exists because Richtofen is too selfish to let himself die, so the rest of the multi-fucking verse can carry on with its existence. That's what upsets about me about Treyarch.
Passionate about this.
Damn.
Probably.
But
Anyway,
But
do we have other topics? I think we do.
well, to be honest, most of this podcast was going to be talking about the Blackout Beta, but which kind of fell off the road a lot.
I'll do it right now. You ready? Blackout Beta. It's not gonna be Fortnite. It's gonna be a great game mode. Probably gonna be a great thing for Call of Duty, but it's not gonna kill Fortnite. So all the people right there that are like, "Oh shit, my John Wick's dead," it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, at this
That's
point,
interesting.
there's no like this is my thing about killing games. You can't kill a gaming community.
Yeah.
It's never gonna happen because there's always gonna be people that are fans of a franchise.
Yep.
No matter if you don't play it or not, or you don't see it on YouTube or whatever, that community still exists. Like World of Warcraft, right? World of Warcraft hasn't been like the biggest relevant game for how long, but it's still alive and well, and it doesn't do well on YouTube or on Twitch really, but it still is a thing.
Yeah, it's like what you're saying there. It's games are always going to have their hardcore fans, even if they kind of turn over to another game, they're always going to be a fan of that game. And it's like you said, Lux, they're never actually going to properly kill the community because there's always going to be as long as there's a community, the game is never dead. If the whole community dies out, then it's a dead game. If you've still got an active audience and people who watch it, people who play it, stream it, what have you, that's their community, and they're always going to have that.
Yeah, no cause is lost if there's at least one full left fighting it.
Yeah, exactly. What are you guys' favorite parts of the Blackout Beta? Like, but just Blackout in general. What are your favorite parts of it?
Raid.
Raid. Oh, that's a good.
I
liking you a lot more.
So I like this, but I also don't like this at the same time. And I said this on Twitter before the beta launched. Was Blackout is basically Revelations 2.0 in the sense that it's a lot of nostalgia areas and a lot of nostalgic maps put into one. But here's the thing I do like about it, right? I like the fact that it flows and it functions in a way that kind of makes sense. Like the asylum being really far off from every town and like city, that's how real life places work in the world.
Yes. Yeah.
Mental wards and asylums are nowhere near anyone that's it's
they're
nowhere
generally
near a
kind of
downtown
out in
area.
the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. So I like that, and I like the idea that they definitely did make this their own and they owned it. And I don't know about on Xbox or PC, but I know right now I'm looking at it on my screen on my PlayStation. All the zombies characters are available now.
Yes.
On PlayStation.
Yeah, I played a lot. Like before I came to do the podcast. I actually played as Takio, Diego, and Nikolai as well, and it was like that gives you a nice little taster of what you could have as a permanent feature if you manage to complete the quests.
Yeah, and both of my both of my victories that I've gotten so far, I was playing as Victor Reznov, and I like this too. If you're playing as the Reznov skin, you guys remember from the World at War campaign how he loses his finger so he can't snipe? He's still missing the finger in the Blackout Beta. He doesn't have his index finger.
Yep.
It's great.
Right.
It's
They really
canonical. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this on Twitter or Reddit at all, but technically, because you know how at the bottom when it's telling you where the character, like what games the characters are from, technically they've confirmed that Reznov was not in Black Ops 2 campaign.
Oh yes, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was just a hallucination, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
basically,
confirmed that
dramatic
was actually truthfully a hallucination, and Mason was completely on drugs.
What did they say about Reznov, Black Ops 1, and that's it? Black Ops 1?
Well, so it says at the bottom that he was in World at War, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 4. And the only reason he's in Black Ops 4 is for this. I assume, but that technically confirms for us. Actually, it confirms another thing that I just thought about. So it confirms for us the one thing that I already mentioned. He wasn't in Black Ops 2's campaign. But the second thing it confirms is that he had nothing to do with Garage Crovey. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but his gravesite is found in Garage Crovey's spawn room.
It's in the spawn room, yeah. I'm seeing
it says V Reznov, and then it says Revenge in Russian.
Get
on
the
one of the plates.
hell out of here. How
you don't know this?
So, Trouble, you know in the spawn how it has the graves?
I know there's tombstones, there's random names on some of the tombstones, but not about
They're not on the tombstone. They're not on the tombstone. The one for Reznov and the word of revenge, which I think it's in Russian, is in the, like, I guess it's a wall. It's like the wall sort of thing behind it with the barbed wire and all the wood. Yeah, it just says V. Reznov, and then it says the word for revenge in, I think, Russian, but I could be wrong.
Wow.
That was adding to that fire and fuel of people thinking that there was a connection between the Black Ops campaigns and zombies, which was their evidence was the fact that there was that name and that stuff in GK, but also like the Nova 6 crawlers being created by Nova 6 from the campaign and all that shit. And that was later also said that by Jason that they're not connected, but that one was always a mystery where we're like, okay, so does just Reznov exist in both and he's the only one that does? This technically confirms that he is not, in fact, involved with Black Ops 3 at all.
Okay.
Shit.
I think that's a good confirmation. I'm glad that they done that. But what you were saying about Reznov's like finger, the fact that it's missing from like his World of War state, how he can't snipe. That is like there are two things in particular that really I really like about Blackout. First one is the tiny attention to detail Treyarch put in their maps. Like you look at Blackout and it's exactly how you go to a place, it's exactly how you would picture it. Like you go to Rivertown, for instance, it's how you would picture a river town. Like they pay attention to like windows, carpets, walls, what have you. You go to a place like Asylum. It's got all the destroyed, the beds, the restrainer chairs. Just the tiny, the tiny attention to detail is what really like has me liking Treyarch a lot more.
We noticed it in a very weird way, honestly. Sorry to interrupt, but we noticed it in the sense like if you're ever in the areas that are like trailer parks and you see the beds in there, they're gross.
Yeah.
But then you look at the estate bedrooms, they're fucking nice.
Yeah, they do great attention to detail. And the second thing is, I adore the way they've implemented zombies into Blackout. There aren't a lot
more than I thought.
Yeah, there aren't too many that spawn in. Like, there's like eight. I think they say like 5 to 8. They haven't got round 1 health. They have, I believe they said in between 13 to 15, round 13, 15 health, which it makes them not easy to kill but not hard to kill. It's like the perfect thing there.
Yeah.
They drop zombie items like monkey bomb, ray gun. You get a mystery box if you kill them all, which is great, and that gives you MP40, Galil.
Yep.
I love how
I want to point out the Galil isn't called the Galil in this game. And there's a gun that also I don't remember what it's called, but I know it's not called the Galil. And
Okay,
there's also a
interesting.
gun that reminds me so much of the AUG from Black Ops 1, but
Yes.
it's a tri-burst. It's a tri-burst instead.
Yes. No.
Yeah, I saw a picture. Where is it?
Pretty much. It's
Cool.
pretty much an identical looking,
Yeah.
like to the org.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
called the GRAW. Graw.
Yeah, that's it. Also, I want to point out as well, I got really confused. Me and Answer were playing, and we were in a helicopter, and we saw like the zombies mystery box light, and it was from. We later found out that it was from the little area that's supposed to be the boxing gym, but I was like,
Yes.
that's so oddly placed that I was like, where is that? Because we were coming from, if we are looking at it, we were thinking, oh, it might be Asylum or it might be the graveyard beside Asylum. Nope, it was the boxing gym, and I was so confused. I was like, why?
Yeah, I really like the maps they've added to Blackout. In like the zombie maps they've added to Blackout. Obviously, you have I don't think Newtown is a zombie spot, but you have the Call of
It
the
is.
Dead lighthouse, which looks great. You have the boxing gym from Shadows of Evil, which is fantastic. You have Asylum. You have the Buried Maze, Cemetery. But like, I think this is not going to come as any shock to people,
Mhm.
especially Spike if he was here. My favorite place, zombie wise, in Blackout has got to be the Transit Diner.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I didn't really expect to see the diner there.
I
that was
thought
pretty cool.
I think that's like the cool thing about this, right? It's like you guys have got to remember, when Transit was first being teased, we were actually very excited about it because of the way it was being marketed. It looked
Yeah.
like it was gonna be cool because we saw like the town being like circled off by zombies, and we're like,
Yes.
oh shit, dog. And like I know they were talking about this on Zombros actually, where they were thinking instead of having the Nova Gas storm, there would be just more and more zombies, and you would just get royally dicked by zombies, which would have
Yeah.
been cool too. I think the good reason they didn't do that was probably because they didn't want this to basically just be zombies 0.5.
Mhm. Yeah.
But anyway, I thought it was cool that this kind of Blackout is kind of like the more refined, more polished, and less foggy version of Transit, where it's just like it's a really really large map, and you can kind of play within that area. Also, I want to point out that probably one of my favorite aspects of Blackout was being able to have the underground in the Nuketown bunkers.
Yes.
And technically, Nuketown
Definitely.
the Nuketown that we get on Nuketown Island is based off of the Zombies Nuketown,
Yeah.
but it is not a zombies area because we don't get anything zombies in it,
Yeah.
which is fair enough. The reason they probably do that is just because of the fact that everyone and their dog drops there because it's Nuketown.
I would love in the full game if they added little Easter eggs, maybe like things for the zombie storyline.
So
in
that's
those
the
areas.
one thing I want to say too. That's the one thing I want to say too. I think it's one of the biggest downsides, and one of the things I don't quite understand why they did it this way.
Yeah.
Like, you know how Vondahar and them are saying, oh, well, look for Easter eggs, look for little hidden things in Blackout. The problem with that right now, as it stands, and this could change, of course. But the problem with that right now is you don't have time to slow down and stop and look for Easter eggs, right? Like, we had it in Zombies where we thought, who was it? Marlton was in the Nuketown bunker. We don't have the time to slow down and be like, is there evidence of Marlton down here? No. Why? Because there's like
That's what
20
I was
other people right above
I was
me.
trying to see if there was like a pair of glasses or something on the floor. I was trying to look at all that shit.
And during that time, you're getting shut up by everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So hopefully, if they're going to make it so that way, there is Easter eggs towards other things or story aspects in Blackout. Hopefully, they make it so that way there's a mode similar to what's it called in Fortnite, playground mode or whatever. We can just drop in and fuck around and do nothing and not die.
It would be nice.
Have to leave the game because then at least you can find these things. Jesus Christ. But then you can at least find these things as opposed to being stuck to being like, okay, I gotta get in, I gotta try and see if I can find some things, and then get the fuck out of here. I'm dead.
Weapon, get your ass out of there. Yeah, that's pretty much how Blackout works.
Yeah, I really want to get like I've sort of half done some exploration within the asylum, but I don't even think I've seen the whole thing of it yet. And I want to. I want to see the add-ons that they've made to it because it looks super cool. from what I've seen so far. But
Yeah.
I want to try and actually take some
Oh.
time to slow down and look
Speaking
at
of
it.
Asylum, I fucking love. They put the goddamn Easter egg song
Yes, they
in the
put
map.
Easter egg song. Yes, it's so good.
Treyarch,
like,
you have my.
Literally
You have
every
my
time we're in the
blessing.
staging area, and we're in the asylum, we're like, quick, go upstairs to the fucking toilet.
to the
Get
toilet.
that
Go to
song
the
playing, boys.
Right,
And we sound like madman because we're like, get to the toilet. What the
Yeah.
fuck? So have either of you guys used the ray gun yet in
Yes.
Blackout?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, what? Sorry,
I want
I'm
to
the
use
only one that
Galil.
has it. I haven't
want to
even-
use the. I want to use the Galil. I never got it.
I've used the Galil and the MP40, and from what I've seen, they're both hella strong. I haven't even seen the ray gun get used in any of my Blackout games, not once. And I was just saying,
I've used
I was
it.
just saying to my girlfriend
It's
just
a
before we
two-hit
started,
kill. It's a two-hit kill. The ray gun.
Actually, no, it's not. It's a one hit kill.
No. One.
One hit kill. If you get close enough to a dude, it's a one hit kill.
yeah, because of splash damage, I would assume. But I was saying to my girlfriend before we started stream, or before we started recording rather, I was playing a game of Blackout, and I got acid grenades, like the ones that we see in the Voyage trailer.
Yes.
What?
I got them, and I didn't use them because I died, and I was so
Ah.
upset.
Acid. I gotta go. I gotta play more Blackout. God, that's and that's the other thing too. I am working so hard on videos and projects and productions that I don't have time to play the game. So that's why when people tell me, "Oh, why don't you have a lot of Blackout gameplay?" I'm like, if I had time to sit down and do it, like the reason why I'm here and I have the podcast and today, I have free days sometimes on the weekends, but when I'm sitting down, my friends are like, "Oh, you want to play some Blackout?" I'm like, "Play some Blackout." I'm like, you know what my kitchen looks like right now, and my kitchen was all
Yeah,
fucked
I
up
ain't got
yesterday.
that, but that
My video.
Dude, I'll level with you. I'm supposed to be working on those 2 videos I was saying about. I
Yeah.
put that on hold until I get my fix of Blackout. I've been working on it here and there in between, like when I'm not playing because I got tired of it for the day. But
Yeah.
honestly, those videos got super delayed because of Blackout.
Yeah.
I went into Blackout thinking, okay, if I enjoy it, I'll play it lots. If I don't enjoy it, I just won't play it and I'll just work on my videos.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. God damn it.
Yeah, now Blackout is great, and I'm looking forward to the full launch of the game.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to touch upon before we actually end the podcast here, because we're actually closing in on 2 hours again, but it's been an absolute blast.
That's how you know you had a good podcast. Once you see, like, holy fuck, we've been going on for this long.
it's great.
That's how you know it's a good podcast.
One more thing I want to touch up on, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. You probably have if you've been on Twitter a lot, right? So next Monday, we're meant to be getting the brand new Avenged Sevenfold song, Mad Hatter.
Yep, I tagged you.
That they made for Black Ops 4 Zombies. But what do you think of the poster?
It's nice. I mean, when I saw everything going on with the puzzle pieces, and I was like, listen, God bless the people that put it together, but I'm just the one that looks at it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was the same.
I was like, nice.
Exactly the same.
Honestly,
I don't.
there's nothing crazy going on.
It does look pretty. It does look a bit cartoony. Like
Not
so much cartoony, but more like comic based.
How much more 9 shit can we get though? Honestly,
We're meant to be getting another trailer for 9 before
we don't even have classified.
That's what I was just about to say. We have nothing unclassified. Why are we getting another 9? Like, they're really trying to promote this map. It's kind of like Shadows of Evil. They're really trying to promote this map as being the main thing. And I mean, no discredit to 9 whatsoever. I'm looking forward to it. But I think on launch, it's gonna be the map that's gonna get outshone, because like Voyage of Despair has massive Shadows of Evil vibes. Light of the Dead is giving us the remake that we've wanted since BO2. And Classified is like 5 is a fan favorite amongst many, and we're getting Ultimus back. Like, it's really gonna be outshone to those 3 maps, and that's like. But I
see it.
I hope it does get the attention that it deserves.
No, yeah, of course.
Okay, so to answer the question, because I just was looking on my phone, I wasn't sure if I'd seen the actual full image or just the puzzle pieces. I think the image is. I agree. It looks kind of comic-like, which is cool for me because I like comics. But here, to your point about talking about like the trailering and stuff, I think it's a smarter move from the marketing department anyway, to try and market the new storyline as much as possible, whether that means just 9 or 9 and Voyage. And the reason I say this is a combination of things. One, I just think it's smarter just to try and build up hype, and secondly, because you know, if they didn't do as much for this and they did even slightly more for Blood,
Yeah.
or even like overdid it by like let's be real, if we get like 1 trailer for Classified, we'll be set. If we get like more than 2 for like Blood or Classified, like if we got like almost nothing for Voyage and 9, and we got a decent amount for Blood and Classified, all the people out there would be like, that tells you that the new storyline is going to be shit. But they don't market
Yeah, I
it.
can see that totally. But
So
yeah.
I think it's a smart move to do it that way. And again, to be fair, nobody's going to do it the opposite way. No one's going to go and say
Yeah,
this
no,
ahead
yeah.
of time and going to be like, Blood of the Dead and Classified are obviously going to be shit because they haven't marketed it as much. No one's going to say that, because everyone and their dog is like, that's going to be the good thing, which they mentioned on Zombros as well, is that because there's 4 maps launching and a large majority of the big YouTubers are going and playing Blood as soon as the game comes out, smaller people can go and play every other map and actually go and be like, I found this before a big person made 300 tutorials on it.
It's interesting that you
Yes,
say
accomplishment.
It's interesting that you say that. Like a lot of the big time YouTubers are going to go and play Blood of the Dead first. I don't think that's the case with Reed.
Yeah, I think Reed said he wants to play Classified
Yes,
first.
Classified, because he is so excited for Ultimate Return.
Yeah.
I also have to say about that too. I was saying today in the podcast, it's streaming in general is going to be shit for small channels, because streaming, this is just my think of it. Streaming, when the game first comes out, you're gonna open up your sub box, boom, everybody's gonna be streaming. Everybody.
Yeah, no one's gonna watch your stream when everyone else is streaming.
Exactly. So that was a big wake up call for me during Blackout as well. So my plan is I'm gonna be playing all the maps I'm gonna be playing all the maps for as long as I want, and then I am going to go edit them and just post them as first reactions, first gameplays and stuff like that. And before launch, I'm gonna work on skits for those maps, like work on skits and stuff like that. And it's gonna be good. And I feel like there's no right algorithm to go for a new launch Call of Duty. There's no algorithm you have to go by in order to do subs. It's your own rhythm. It's how you flow.
Yeah, I actually put a tweet out about this. Like when the game launches, BO4, I've actually got the Friday it comes out, and then the following Monday. The box is all screwed up. The when BO4 comes out,
I'm back.
Breaks it all.
Sorry.
That's fine, dude. When BO4 comes out, I've got the Friday and the Monday off of my actual job, and through that time, I'm gonna be busting my ass on videos, because I'm gonna be doing my first playthrough of all the 4 maps and Zombie Rush. I'm then gonna be putting so much detail into my review videos of the 4 maps.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be literally a week, all weekend. I'm probably gonna get very little sleep. I'm gonna be tired as anything, but I'm gonna be getting those videos out, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to making so much content. It's gonna be great.
Agreed. I think, and it's I don't mean this in the negative way, but I hope that Treyarch made the Blood of the Dead Easter egg something that is not necessarily difficult enough, but like requires enough of actual thinking and decent difficulty that it takes a decent amount of time
Yeah, you want it to
for
be a
them to
bit more
solve
challenging,
it.
basically.
And it's for two reasons. One, I want it that way just because I prefer having Easter eggs that require me to actually think about things instead of doing tasks that make no sense. Revelations. But and it's also a combination of that and because of the fact I know a lot of the bigger guys want to be close to, if not the first in the world to solve the Blood of the Dead Easter egg. So they're going to work on that until it's solved. And the longer they take, the longer the rest of us, again, I don't mean this negatively, but the longer the rest of us have to try and formulate some stuff and some content for 9, Voyage, Classified, because then we can actually, like I said, like we talked about this last time I was on the podcast too, Lobster, was like I don't like when people get early access to the point where they can release tutorials on how to do something
Yeah,
before
That's
any
what
of
I
us
was gonna
get the
say
game.
too. That's what I was gonna say too. You
And
guys
that's-
saying so the small zombie tubers can get other maps in. I s-
As long
listen.
as they
I
keep it
know
that
I know
way.
currently ways. I know ways that currently they people are getting the game early. Let me just say that the only way that we can fix and save, not save, but like the way Activision can save a way of, because they sent the YouTubers World War II early, like a day early. They sent them the game early, so I don't think they're really having a problem with them playing the game early. I think it's mainly us who's having a problem with it. I don't think Activision has a problem with it. I don't think the fans have a problem with it. I just think it's the creators have a problem with it. I think it's the
I
creators
don't
have a
think it's
problem
you
with
can
it.
necessarily
understand
just the
that, though.
creators though. I don't think it's necessarily just creators. I think it is fans because even for me, right? Like, I think I've said this to you, Turbo. Like, I don't particularly do YouTube to try and make lots of money off.
Yeah.
I do it because I enjoy spreading ideas, and I like being able to get my own experience out of it. The only reason I don't like it isn't because of creating videos. It's because I don't want Reed, Dalek, I don't care who the YouTuber is. I don't want them streaming a day or two before I'm ever going to touch the game and be like, I have 4 fucking videos telling you how to play this game and you know what the map looks like and all the details. Before I even get to touch it, like, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good.
That's dumb. One thing I want to ask before we close out is do you guys have any predictions on what challenges are going to look like for either in Zombies or Blackout for unlocking characters or anything to do with unlocks? Do you think that you have any ideas and predictions, or do you have any like sense of how hard or easy things might be? Because I know in the Game Informer thing they were predicting, they did not say for sure, they were predicting that characters like Richtofen would be harder. So what do you think?
I mean that's kind of understandable, and I think in terms of like how difficult the challenges are going to be, it's pretty much I think it's going to be a sense of how long you can survive, and they're gonna want to base it on what the character
is involved
who
with
the character is basically. So like you want to do challenges. Let's say for Richtofen, you have to find teddy bears and you have to use the ray gun. You have to get a certain gun out of the mystery box. Like for Blackout, I think the challenges are going to be a little bit difficult, but not too impossible. In terms of the Easter eggs for zombies, I think Main and Voyage are going to have the most challenging Easter eggs. Other than that, I want challenging, but I also want little hints to the previous Mob of the Dead Easter egg. And
That'd be cool.
And
yeah,
I hope Classified it doesn't have an Easter
I think oh, that's a discussion for itself because I don't think I wanted to have some sort of something, not necessarily an Easter egg that's like a traditional Easter egg though. Like if I was to say I wanted to have an Easter egg, I would say I wanted to have an Easter egg that is akin to like a Darkest Shore, where it's very self-contained. Like I don't want to teleport away from the Pentagon and all of a sudden I'm fighting a big like keeper or like a big bad. Like if they still have the Pentagon thief, maybe the boss fight is like a really super powerful Pentagon thief that actually attacks you instead of just steals things from you. But like, yeah, I want something, but I don't want something where it's like I have an intro and an outro cutscene, because that's too much for me.
That's understandable. I mean, Turbo, what do you think of the challenges? Do you think they're going to be?
I mean, I see for Blackout it being difficult because you're gonna go out in game, do stuff, you gotta get kills, either whatever the fact may be. Zombies, though, I think that the way you unlock stuff or whatever, I think, I just think it will be, you know, like simple challenges. If it's hard, then then it's hard. I think challenges need to be hard in Call of Duty. I think we've gotten too fucking easy with these challenges.
Agreed.
Free liquid divinium. What do? Open up a door. Okay. like okay, free mega gobblegums. What do you gotta do? Buy gobblegums. Okay.
That's great. That's such a great way to put it. That's I really love that answer. That's fantastic. Okay.
Do we have anything else?
No, we pretty much we've covered all topics. Went through Turbo's favorites, and this has just been an absolute blast of an episode. And
I had a lot of fun. Great time.
Me too.
Lux, I want to thank you very much again for coming on, dude. Even though it was at the very last minute, it was fantastic, dude.
Of course,
Turbo.
Yeah, of course.
I really appreciate you coming on the podcast, dude. And I hope to get you back on again in a future episode. I might even try, if you're free.
Yeah.
I might try and get you on for the episode we're gonna do next. It's either the next episode or the episode after, where we're going to be talking about our BO4 reaction.
Yeah.
And if you're down for that, if you're down for that, I would really love to have you back.
Listen, I'm gonna say it's a yes now, but if anything comes up, I'll definitely let you know well in advance.
Well,
don't worry, I know how podcast goes. Don't worry, I'll let you know in advance so you can plan all this stuff.
Well, I'll confirm you for that one again.
Yeah.
Also,
both hop in my DMs.
One more thing, Nomo.
Yes.
I wish you a very happy birthday, mate.
Thank you.
Yes. Happy birthday to
I
Turbo.
hope you have a really nice
Thank
meal.
you. Appreciate it.
My girlfriend says happy birthday in the background too.
Thank you. What's her name?
Her name is McKinley.
McKinley?
Yes.
Thank you, McKinley. How are you?
That's good.
I can already hear it. He sounds weird. He has an accent.
What's the accent?
No. I full-fledged warned her about the fact that you had an accent. I was like, dude, Turbo is about as loud as I am, but he's from me. So it's much better.
But no, that's going to wrap up the podcast there. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. This has been an absolute blast of an episode. You'll find Turbo and Lux's Twitters down below, as well as Turbo's YouTube channel. Be sure to go and check out the It Is What It Is podcast. It's absolutely fantastic podcast. And I got to give Turbo, Jack the Bus, and Near Die all the respect for how they made that podcast.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant. But thank you very much, guys, for watching. Be sure to leave a like, and you see us again on the next episode of ZombSquad. But in the meantime, have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.